is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The PLP and the F&M MPs trading blame on BPL in the House. As the Works Minister says, it'll cost about $600,000 to restore power in North Andros. Prime Minister Davis defending honoring Rwandan President Kagame. And another person out on bail for murdered. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, July 13th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we are going to be talking about a summer workshop for teachers who code. Yes, coding. We're going to be talking about that. All the details coming up in just a bit. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Minister of Education Glenys Hannah Martin charging that under the Minutes administration, BPL was in chaos and experienced total mismanagement. Hannah Martin speaking in the House yesterday saying it was the most chaotic, disastrous, shady, suspect oversight of BPL, quote, that I think the nation has ever seen. She was pushing back against claims made by the former Prime Minister and F&M Deputy Leader Shannon Dawn Cartwright in the House that BPL has taken a turn for the worst under the Davis administration. Minutes highlighted that electricity bills have skyrocketed and saying, quote, Bahamians should remember that the PLP is at fault for this when they have to pay these high astronomical bills. The PLP was at fault. We're now hearing that they are load shedding during what is already a very, very hot summer. Minnesota's government made enormous progress in fixing what have been historic problems at BPL. While speaking with reporters recently, Alfred Sayers, the works minister who has responsibility for BPL, said load shedding was possible, but BPL said it will use all its resources per station, where it's also carried out maintenance. In the House yesterday, Cartwright, the FNM deputy, said infrastructure in the country is falling and failing, and that the Bahamian people deserve better. He said, quote, ever since this government has come to office, BPL has not been the same, and the level of power generation and what the Bahamian people are experiencing has not been the same. Responding to that criticism, Hannah Martin expressed shock at what the FNM MPs were saying, again citing the terrible record under the Minutes administration. Hannah Martin said BPL's problems have been sustained and the former administration made a bad situation worse. Meanwhile, Works Minister Alfred Sayers saying yesterday that it will cost BPL $600,000 to restore electricity to North Andros following a fire that ripped through a power plant in the community last week. He says the cause of the fire is under investigation, and BPL's insurance adjusters also must complete their work. He said to date, BPL estimates that its current cost for restoring the power is about $600,000, and the amount is inclusive of generation purchase, auxiliary parts, as well as shipment costs, and that the final amount will be determined in due course. Sayers noted that there are 3 generators in North Andros. He noted that the total demand in Andros is 2 megawatts, but that once the second and third units are integrated, BPL's installed capacity on the island North Andros will be 3.8 megawatts, well above peak demand. The minister also giving a response to BPL's on the fire, which left the entire North Andros community without power for hours, says since then power has been intermittent in some sectors due to load shedding and issues with the new temporary generators. And Prime Minister Philip Davis defending his decision to recommend that Rwandan President Paul Kagame be awarded a national honor. Kagame's regime has been accused of suppressing political dissent through intimidation, torture, and suspected assassinations of exiled dissidents, according to United States NGO claims. When asked about the decision, Davis says, quote, if you got to Rwanda, you talk about ethics. I gave it to him because of what I felt when I went to Rwanda and what I saw and what is being done to bring African unity, bringing people together in his own country. In other news, a police inspector has been charged with vehicular manslaughter after his girlfriend was killed in a collision back in 2022. Prosecutors say Dalton Knowles was under the influence of alcohol when he caused the death of Tamika Duncombe on December 17th when he crashed into a pole. The incident happened at Yellow Elder Way. Knowles was not required to enter a plea to the charge when he appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. He was granted $8,000 bail on condition that he signs into the Grove Police Station on Mondays before 6 p.m. He returns to court on October 19th to receive a voluntary bill of indictment. Knowles has been suspended from his duties at the Criminal Investigation Department pending the conclusion of the matter. And 5 baggage handlers who were arrested on suspicion of drug trafficking after 4 kilos of cocaine were found on a JetBlue airplane have been acquitted. Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt acquitted and discharged Rudolph Mott, Bashad Arnett, Keto Ferguson, Fillmore Cartwright, and Quinton Williams Wednesday. After ruling on a no-case submission, they were charged with possession of drugs with intent to supply, conspiracy to possess drugs with intent to supply, taking preparatory steps to export drugs, and conspiracy to export drugs. The charges stemmed from the discovery of the cocaine on October 17, 2017 at Lyndon Pindling International Airport. The flight was being prepared for departure to the United States when it was selected for a random search by U.S. Border Protection officers. They found a black duffel bag containing cocaine. The bag didn't have a tag, and there was no indication from where it originated. Ferguson Pratt said that the prosecution had failed to produce a scintilla of evidence that any of the defendants knew that the drugs were hidden in the bag. Overseas, schools and colleges closed after record monsoon rains led to massive waterlogging, road cave-ins, collapsed homes, and gridlocked traffic in large parts of northern India this week, killing more than 100 people. At least 88 people died and more than 100 were injured in the worst-hit mountainous Himachal Pradesh state, where cars, buses, bridges, and houses were swept away by swirling floodwaters. The region is nearly 310 miles north of New Delhi. 12 people have died of rain-related deaths since Wednesday. In another state, 9 of them drowned, 2 died after being struck by lightning, and 1 was killed by a snake bite. 1 person died in New Delhi, and 4 were killed in the Indian control section of Kashmir. Authorities used helicopters to rescue nearly 300 people, mostly tourists, who were stranded in the Chantertal area. They included 7 sick people who were airlifted on Tuesday. Nearly 170 houses have collapsed, and another 600 were partially damaged by heavy rains and landslides in the area. In New Delhi, residential areas close to the Jamuna River were flooded, submerging roads, cars, and homes, leading to the evacuation of thousands of people from low-lying areas. And from Thailand, Thai lawmakers are gathering today to select a new prime minister, a process whose outcome is far from certain, even though the country's most progressive party won both the popular vote and the most seats in the House of Representatives in the most recent election. The reformist Move Forward Party's victory in the May 14th election appeared to spell an end to 9 years of unpopular army-supported rule. 2 months later, it's unclear if that mandate for change will be honored. Parliament is due to vote on whether to make Move Forward's leader, 42-year-old businessman Pita Limjaroenrat, the country's prime minister. His party captured 151 of 500 House seats and his assembled coalition government in waiting. The 8 parties in the coalition won 312 seats combined, a healthy majority. But on Wednesday, the Election Commission said it concluded that there was evidence that PETA had violated election law and referred his case to the Constitutional Court for a ruling. If the court accepts the case and finds him guilty, he could lose his House seat, get kicked out of politics, and face a prison sentence. In sports, New Providence Buccaneers reigning supreme on the soccer field, lifting both the men and women's titles in the 6th Bahamas Games yesterday. Both teams had a perfect run in the tournament, coming away with maximum points. The Buccaneers men went into their final game with 9 points and having not conceded a goal. They went up against Grand Bahama Lucayans at Roscoe A.L. Davies Soccer Field, prevailing in a shutdown again, winning 1-0. Head coach for the Buccaneers, Dion Peterson, who's been part of the previous 5 editions of the game, said it feels good to get the win. You can read more about how the teams did in today's Guardian Sports section. And also from the Bahamas Games, basketball taking center stage. What was billed as a marquee matchup between 2 gold medal contenders in the women's category turned out to be a battle of the fittest. Both the New Providence Buccaneers and the Grand Bahama Lucayans had experienced one loss coming into their featured matchup yesterday. So for seeding purposes, both teams desperately needed a win. New Providence pulling away in the second half, recording a much-needed 54-45 win over the visiting Grand Bahamian squad at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. The Buccaneers improving to a 2-1 win-loss record, while the Lucayans dropping to 1-2. On the men's side at the D.W. Davis Gym, nail-biter, Eleuthera beating Grand Bahama 68-65 in a back-and-forth game that had fans on the edge of their seats. More coverage of Bahamas games in today's Guardian Sports section. And LeBron James says he will play another season for the LA Lakers, the 38-year-old superstar announcing his intentions on stage at the ESPYs Wednesday night after accepting the record-breaking performance award for becoming the NBA's career scoring leader. At the end of last season, in which he surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's mark, James had said that he wasn't sure if he would come back. James saying last night, though, that he kept asking himself if he could play without cheating the game, and if he still had more to give. But he said that he definitely will. He said, quote, "The day I can't give the game everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Lucky for you guys, that day is not today." The crowd at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood let out a huge cheer. James says he's got a lot left. He was presented his trophy by wife Savannah, sons Bronny and Bryce, and daughter Zuri. James later returned and was joined by Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade to honor Carmelo Anthony, who recently retired after a 19-year career. Earlier, Chicago White Sox reliever Liam Hendriks told the audience that he pitched much of the 2022 season with non-Hodgkin lymphoma before being diagnosed with an advanced stage of the disease. He accepted the Jimmy V Award for perseverance. The 34-year-old Australian was declared cancer-free in late April and returned to the mound a month later. And the U.S. women's soccer team honored with the Arthur Ashe Award for courage for its fight to receive equal pay. The player sued U.S. Soccer in 2019 and last year reached agreement on a deal that splits men's and women's pay equally. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. Here's what's happening. We've got a dissipating frontal boundary near the northern Bahamas that will wash out later today, while a surface ridge of high pressure will persist across the area following. That's going to allow for hot conditions to continue across the country, so even hotter. Imagine that. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should remain alert due to the threat of rip currents along east and south coast beaches. Boaters should remain alert as there's a potential for waterspouts, and everybody's being advised to stay well hydrated and limit spending prolonged periods in the sun during peak hours, as heat indices are again going to be in the triple digits. For all areas today, we're looking at partly mostly sunny and hot conditions, a bit breezy in the central and southeast Bahamas, slight chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm during the day, becoming mostly fair and muggy at night, with a stray shower or two possible. For boaters, small craft operators in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution. Wind southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots across the northwestern islands, east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots in the central and southeast Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet across the northwest Bahamas, but 4 to 6 feet in the central and southeastern islands. Already about 85 degrees, partly cloudy skies in Nassau. Look for highs getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius today. The heat index will be triple digits again, though, 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Coming up this morning, we're going to be talking about Teachers Who Code Summer Workshop. It's designed to develop the skills and confidence to teach students how to code, to teach teachers how to teach the students how to code. So that's going to be interesting. A number of dates that you need to know about. If you're a teacher, you want to learn how to do this, you definitely want to stay tuned for that. That is coming up later in the show. But first, let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, quite a bit to talk about this morning. The big headlines about BPL in the House of Assembly, back and forth on who's to blame for how horrible it is, and the latest on BPL in North Andros, and the Prime Minister defending honoring Kagame. We'll get into all of that in just a bit. But have you been paying attention, watching, going out to the Bahamas games? Great coverage on television between ZNS and Rev Cable 12, and it's actually been a lot of fun, and I'm actually impressed with the organization, and I think so far so good. It's been quite interesting. The teams, I was worried that they wouldn't have chemistry, and they'd be, but they do. It is working, and hey, look at that. It's been impressive. What do you think? Have you been watching? You've been going out there? It seems like they have good audience participation, and the numbers aren't horrible out there. Let's get your views on it. I want to hear from you about it. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Give us a toll-free call, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Tell us what you think about that. I got to say, I was watching the game last night, Eleuthera versus Grand Bahama. They were at the D.W. Davis gym. That was a great game. Great game. There was back and forth. Lead changes every few seconds, it seemed, right? But the D.W. Davis gym, what are we going to do about that gym? Everybody was sweating. Everybody's fanning. I mean, it was like a sauna. Can the private sector do something? Can somebody supply them with air conditioning? Something? No? Is that not something we can do? Because it just didn't seem right. And I think we do need to have an alternative to Ken Lysick's gym, right? Maybe a place where people can train other than the Ken Lysick's gym. But is there a reason that has to be like that? And I don't remember if A.F. Adderley has a similar situation. But we do need to step it up. No? Am I wrong? Am I off? I don't know. It looked weird. And I felt so sorry. The announcers. Oh, man. Drenched. So somebody, can the Ministry of Education let us know? Can the private sector come together and donate air conditioning? And then can we expand the gym? Is it possible? Because the baskets are right up against the wall. So that's kind of weird. That gym hasn't changed much. They say they resurfaced the floor, but it just doesn't seem right. But maybe it's just me. Just let me know. Yep, Laverne, you're on. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
I don't know if you've been able to watch any of these games. We've been interested in doing anything, the coverage so far.
Yes, I have watched some of the volleyball and then some basketball.
Yeah, it's been decent.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, I was saying at D.W. Davis, though, I feel like we need to organize a campaign. Somebody help D.W. Davis air condition their gym.
I think that's a good idea. And somehow, and I'm not speaking to the Ministry of Education, but I think if the private sector said that they would like to do that, I don't think the ministry would have a problem with it.
I wonder. Okay. But I'm shocked it hasn't happened already. It's strange how things work around here. I don't understand the place. And they're right down the street. We're not putting anybody on the spot.
You know what? But we're only thinking about it now because of the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perhaps.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're not thinking about this on a daily basis and thinking, okay, these kids, this is where they are. Winter, summer, we don't have much of a winter, but summer or whatever, this is where they're. But typically right now, they wouldn't be there, right? So,
Well, sadly, I'm not even thinking about the kids, which is really horrible, right? There are lots of leagues, night leagues, that have events
right.
in these gyms. And so it says a lot about the athletes that they do not complain about it, that they aren't there begging someone to please donate units to the gym, that they just play through it, and that's fine. Wow, good for them. But it just looked weird yesterday. Looked weird, and I think we can do better. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Sure.
of course, that's going to
Agreed.
mean a lot in terms of electricity, but perhaps maybe somebody else can donate some solar panels for the AC. I don't know. But I know the community can do this. But let's see if this will be the impetus to get that gym, and I think AF Adley Bright might need it as well.
Yeah.
So, hey. But yeah, if you've been watching, let us know what you think. Well, I think it's been impressive. I think a lot of money's been spent. These uniforms and all the different sporting disciplines have their own uniform, and right. Anyway, but it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's great. I think tomorrow I'm going to wear my Bahamas Games T-shirt from the last games. I still have that. So that means 20.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it's a 20-something-year-old T-shirt.
Wow.
I thought it was finished, and so I would have treated the shirt better.
Are you
right
like
now.
a hoarder?
No, I still wear this thing. But,
Okay.
It's holding up well. But woo, I shouldn't wear it in public, but I will do it. I'm gonna do it tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Some messages here. Someone says, Dwight, I totally agree with you. I've been watching. It's also really great. Yeah, okay. And this one says here, well, the same thing at the Kendall Isaacs gym last night. It was hot, no AC. At Kendall Isaacs? Oh, boy. What's that all about? Well, that's crazy. That is crazy. This person says here, I'm very impressed with the level of athletic talent in the Bahamas. I'm amazed at the amount of the number of young baseball players in the country. Really? Are you amazed? We need a concerted program to find and develop sporting talent. Very impressed. Yeah. It's been great. Like you said, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball, so far. Very impressive. And, and Grand Bahama, what are they doing in Grand Bahama? What are you all doing up there? I mean, you can't get your economy right. But you've got amazing, talented people, especially in sports.
So, Dwight,
what's that about?
You just couldn't leave it with the compliment. You just couldn't leave it with the compliment. You had to just
stating
something in
reality, just stating the facts.
You don't have to always state, though.
Oh, okay. And everybody's tall. What's that all about? What are you all feeding the kids up there? No response?
We're feeding them good stuff.
Okay.
We're feeding them good
All
stuff,
right.
okay?
Yeah.
But we do. I will say that Grand Bahama does have a lot of talented athletes.
Yeah.
We do. We absolutely do.
Very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah. This text here. I went to D.W. Davis, and they have space to expand. Yeah. The private sector and schools should be having fundraisers. They do it in other countries. We had fundraisers in several schools I went to for school buses. We never got it in decades, though. Okay. I hear you, Texter. I don't know if it works. Maybe the ministry needs to simplify it. I know they're probably concerned about where the funds will go. But yeah, definitely something needs to be done. Private sector, please step up. Please step up. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing. Somebody's saying if I can still fit in that shirt. Well, yeah. Well, yes. Actually, I was bigger so back then. So if you can imagine that, so I can definitely fit in the shirt. You don't worry about that. Anyway. Yeah.
Seem a little sensitive.
Yeah. I don't know
that,
how could you ask somebody a question like that? Oh, boy, I tell you. But yes. Where it's very faded. But you can still see the big Bahamas Games logo on it, and I don't think there are many holes. Should be okay.
I don't think that. But apparently, T-shirts with holes in it, that's the style now. So, yeah.
Added value.
It's a style
I can
now.
auction this off. How about that? I
You
auction it
better
off.
believe it.
Maybe I can auction it off to fix the D.W. Davis gym
To help.
or
You
the
could
Kendall Isaacs
start,
gym.
you know?
Yes. Yeah. All right,
That,
boy.
it could be his beginning.
There you go. Well, all right. So, continue messages about that. We hope again that the private sector is hearing. Donate some air conditioning units, please, and wish the relevant ministries would tell us what's going on with Kendall Isaacs gym. Why wouldn't the AC be working there, right in the middle of the Bahamas games? But anyway, all right. So the big headline that asks our Guardian today, the PLP and the F&M, trying to see which one of them is more pathetic and cause more damage to BPL. I'd say it's a draw, but who knows if you're keeping score. So they're back and forth over who was worse. Yeah.
Because really, that's the issue.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what's really important here. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
mismanagement, chaos. They got a lot of issues. We have had massive blackouts under both. We've had fires under many. We've had boards resign, lots of accusations, criminal activities, all manner of foolishness. And the only thing getting better, no, nothing. The only thing getting higher is our bills, right? So while that was going on, of course, the people in North Andros are still struggling as a result of that fire last week. And now the works minister says it'll cost at least right now $600,000 to really restore electricity to the island, based on all the equipment and all the things they need to right what's wrong there. And it looks like it's going to be this won't be a quick fix for North Andros, and they're having issues, but they're hoping that, right now there are 3 generators in North Andros, a 1.6 megawatt unit, a 1.2 megawatt unit, and a 1 megawatt unit, and that the total demand is 2 megawatts. But Sears says that once the second and third units are integrated, they'll have 3.8 megawatts, well above peak demand. So the fire was last week Wednesday. They brought in some generators, but one was having an issue. So that's caused some delays in getting things back up and running. And they are investigating this fire to see what really happened there. All right. So what do you make of all of this? It's tiring to discuss what happens, isn't it? The back and forth and the blame. And we just are there in the middle as this tennis ball goes back and forth.
That's a VR.
Yeah.
That's a VR, I was listening to the news and just listening to some of the people, what they've lost, and people, family, they slept outside because it was so hot. It's crazy, you lost so much food. It's uncomfortable. One lady was talking. She said this is taking her back to, how Andrews used to be.
Oh, you mean like back when they didn't have electricity?
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
And, so you can imagine the loss. Not just not having power, but everything that you had in your refrigerator, if you've ordered stuff that came on the boat, because you got to stock up because it isn't like you have everything right there available. So how much hundreds and hundreds of dollars maybe you spent to get stuff come in, and it's all gone.
My goodness. Wow.
All your perishables gone.
Yeah. Rough. Very rough. All right, so let's get your reaction to all of this. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. This message here, under the former administration, my light bill was way cheaper. This lousy administration is causing my bill to almost triple. Sad new day. Okay. Yeah, everyone's experiencing that. But this person asks, why is the FNM, why do they keep beating that dead horse about the hedge for 2 years now? They keep saying it. No other progressive advice, just a pat on the back about the hedge. Well, either you don't pay electricity bills, Texter, or you just are Daddy Warbucks and have no issue with your bill being $200 to $300 more than it was a few months ago. But okay, I hear you. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's not a. It's sad that it's all they have. It is pathetic. I agree with you, but it is a significant thing. It is a significant thing. But the BPL officials keep saying that had they continued, it wasn't really going to make much of a difference by now. Well, I don't know, but bills are a lot higher.
I don't know either, but I do know that by now there should have been a plan in place so that people aren't experiencing these increasing bills. You know what I mean? I don't care who came up with it. Trying to get credit. Whomever.
Well, it doesn't matter now.
Right. It doesn't matter. Right.
But it could have potentially been different. Maybe.
Oh, you didn't know. You messed up worse. Oh, no. What?
Yeah.
We need a resolution. That's what we need. We don't need to go with this back and forth when I did this and then you changed that. And then it also speaks to the fact that sometimes there are things in place that work that don't need to be changed. So my question is, are we changing things not for the better? Are we changing things just to say, I can?
Well, especially if the other guys put it in.
Dwight did this.
Yeah.
Oh, Dwight did this. Oh, no. This can be, and then you change it, but it isn't any better or there isn't a significant improvement. It's just change.
Yeah. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
It's good, man. Listen, I think both parties responsible for this BPL generation because no one want to fix it. I personally feel it's because of special interest. The amount of money we waste on a bunch of garbage. Why don't just don't write generators one time? And then every time you listen to them, if just let's say, for instance, you need 80,000 megawatts, they always get 60 and 70. They keep burning more fuel. That's garbage, man. You know what I mean? I'd rather you take my taxpayer money, let me feel good, but you spending the money fixing BPL the right way so people can enjoy their life, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to fix it.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's take the other call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please. Good morning.
Dwight, I know you're talking about BPL, right? I'm on my way to work on Gladstone Road. And this I can't even remember the company name on the truck no more. I wish I did. This guy is flying over, he went opposite the roundabout, in the opposite direction, around the roundabout up there by Fusion. And just cutting through traffic through everybody, and with this truck, and look like they got to let him through. I just don't understand this, man. Why aren't our taxpayers being paid? We just bought like 25 motorbikes or 50 for our police officers.
Wow.
Didn't we?
You didn't take? Did you take any pictures by any chance of the truck?
The guy was going so fast. I can't keep my eye on the road and keep my eye on the wheel and be looking at him, trying to get that license plate number. I wish I did. I should have had my camera out my phone out at the same time.
Wild.
This is ridiculous the way we keep driving this country, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, you all have a nice day, man. This is so upsetting, man.
If you remember the name of the company, because we need to expose these people.
If I remember it, I will call back later to either the other shows and let you know.
Or text us, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot. This boy. Yeah, I will often whip out my phone and take a picture like that bus the other day who tried to run me off the road and was driving on the sidewalk to get around. And really, I really don't know. I still have the picture. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. What's the point?
everybody is in a hurry to get, they're only interested in getting to where they want to go as quickly as possible. And it doesn't matter, what kind of carnage they leave in the wake of it, what they're doing. Now we can stop and then and it's this thing. You're supposed to stop. And then if the way is clear, go ahead and you can turn.
Oh, no, these people know that, Laverne. That truck, I know how that works. These people don't care, right? They think they are important. I wish you remember the name of the company, because these companies around here and their owners are going to be the same people calling these shows, being all hypocritical, but their employees are doing the most foolishness. I am shocked. Yes, I'm shocked. And these trailer trucks, oh, man, don't get me started with the semis. Right?
They bully you. I told my sister, I said, you know what? It's like they come, they'll run the light. You have to stop. They go in and out of traffic. And what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You in a regular vehicle, they literally bully you on the street.
Well, if you're on the street right now and you see that truck, text us the name of the company. We will say it on the air. I don't care if they're a sponsor or not, because this is madness. And those things are data people, right? Text us 422-4796. This person talking about BPL. If we were getting excellent service after 40-plus years of constant outages, 40-plus years of constant outages, we could almost accept the higher costs. But with the power out every day and the energy costs tripled because of fuel, it's impossible to accept it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
if it were always on, you'd have, right? Well, at least it's always on.
You'd be like, you know what? I know it's high, but it's consistent. We don't have any issues, but it's high and you still have issues.
Yeah, crazy. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, man? You and your guest. We've been talking about this BPL thing for about 20 years. Every summer, it be the same thing. Ain't gonna be no load shedding, ain't gonna be no this. I recall they bought some generators last year. We was promised LNG. We were supposed to build an LNG plant. Big talk. What you call renewable energy. Nothing happened. And I can say this, ain't nothing gonna happen, because there are people who are making big money off BPL. And it could be what it is. And then I heard the MP in the House yesterday, one of them all win, but, the machine going down for maintenance. I'd say that a lack of maintenance. Well, I don't know. Because they had come on before the summer and say they fixing this generator, so we got this amount of power and all of that. But being two scenarios, the light bill is too high. I don't know how some of these business people is making. The light bill is very high, and
they make it by passing the cost on to us. All this stuff is expensive. Because
because,
and they have to. I mean, what else can they do?
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. And I could be honest with you. If I've been in business, I was going to try to get all the business people together and do a protest. And that BC change those generators. Let's bite the bullet and buy the LNG. That's more reliable, cheaper. But again, we know they don't want to do that. They don't want to change the generator. So we could be, and like you say, the light bill so goes to the electricity, so goes your country. If light bill be high, the cost of living is going to be high. And they refuse to. They ain't going to do it until, I guess, you vote them out, I guess. And because, hey, I getting $30 million a month, and you told me to give that up. No, man, I ain't get. All they do is slamming us. LNG. We ain't going to ever see that. And we could be in this scenario, but...
That was a long time ago. Haven't heard that recently, but yeah. We've heard many promises. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's take this call, and then we'll take some more of your messages, and we got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi.
Johnson, critical thinker.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight and Laverne and Wada Bahamas. I don't think our leadership understand the critical role that energy plays in its national development scheme. We talk about now the 50 years. But if you look at our economy, at least for the 2 decades that I've been tracking it being home, energy has played a crucial role in destroying the economic potential of the Bahamas, more so as we move into a more technology-dependent environment where energy is 90% plus of a technological environment. In fact, I've said this over and over again, the increase in the demand on the grid will continue to increase as we move technologically into progress technologically, because every cell phone, every device, everything else needs to plug into the grid, even though it may be wireless, to get its energy from somewhere. The problem we have is that the BPL, or BEC, it used to be Buy Extra Candles, you existed, and the infrastructure is antiquated at best. Don't mind us leading the world in the carbon and climate and green and all these different things that we talk about. The reality is that we have no strategy for implementation of any. It makes good talking points, and the world judges us. You know, we could say the Prime Minister's on the world stage saying whatever he wants, but they also judge us by what we do. I've said this over and over again. BPL is a $2 billion arbitrage around the neck of the Bahamian people. The problem is that no administration wants to accept responsibility of what is necessary to add this as a national debt. The infrastructural need, you talk about, I hear the conflation and convolution all the time when the Minister of Energy speaks about, you say, why is BPL sharing this? You say, by the way, have you seen that we're putting solar energy down in Marijuana? Misdirection and everything. But let's talk about New Providence. There is no one can show you a strategy for BPL to redo the grid into a smart grid section. No one can tell you a strategy for reducing consumption, such as smart devices, smart cars, smart energy, smart ACs. No one can show you a strategy for energy consumption, such as in the Arctic. No one can show you a strategy for redesigning, rebuilding the grid, for incorporating these so-called green energy.
You mean no one in the government?
Yes, no one in the government. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this $300 million a year that we spend for the so-called knowledge base, plus the $75 million additionally for consultants. And so the problem is that it's actually we the people that have not demanded a comprehensive conversation with government, not the soundbite governance that they have so well mastered.
I think a lot of people have demanded it, but we're just not getting it, and they don't care.
Not individually. I'm saying talking about because this affects all of us. Like I said to you, there isn't a single business in the Bahamas that pays for electricity. We do, the consumers of their goods and their services. So not only are we paying exorbitant bills, we're paying for it through our goods and services. Our products being the most expensive competitively, and what we provide is all incorporated as part of that energy grid. And so if we are to have, say, the next 50 years, this is the time now for somebody to govern for the next 50, because we're proven we are not. The show for government for the next 50 is bring us a strategy for the energy so that we could be incorporated into the 21st century, the 23 years we're into right now.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
It is Strachan away so long. You Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
And of course, your co-host. Guys, I wanna make 2 points. So last week my light went off, right? And I called BPL to find out what's happening. They told me that they were doing some work in the neighborhood. My light would be on in by 4 p.m. that afternoon. Well, it was off several days, so I went down there.
It was off what, sorry?
They couldn't find out what's happening.
How long was it off?
You wanted to say something?
No, you said they told you it was going to be back by 4 p.m. and then what?
So it hadn't came on, so it was off a couple of days. So I went down there to find out what's happening. They couldn't find out why my lights were off, right? So anyhow, they took up all my time and stuff like that. They wanted my phone number. They're going to call me to come a certain time and stuff like that. So anyhow, I give them it. So it happened. So a couple days later, nobody called me. When I came home, it was on, and I suffered several nights. I suffered. But what I am saying is, right, if I had the money, I'd have so one of those, I to take one of those psychologists, those member of parliament, to a psychologist, because they can't tell me what happened, and they had me suffering. Okay, that ain't decent. But what I want to ask you, right? What I want to say, there's a lot of fields in the Bahamas, sports fields. The thing is, why is it that they don't get cooling system from the sea for those for those fields? Because they're large fields, and they're going to try to put the money, their expense on us, and that wouldn't be decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of things they need to look
These
into.
people need to start we send our children to school, teach them the right thing.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
grow the country.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. A lot happens to him. It's not good. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I'm
Hi.
glad you all are having this topic this morning. I was waiting for this. If BEC said they took 2 generators offline, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Okay, uh-huh.
Now,
well,
if you know this is your peak season, why take 2 off one time? Why not take 1 off and reschedule the next one, or do your maintenance in the Christmas or the cooler time when you don't need that much current? This is what happens when we get people in these positions who don't know anything about the area they've been assigned to. Why take 2 off and you notice the peak of the season? Why?
We've been wondering the same thing. Now, I don't know if they don't know about their
generators
job.
are made to run. Now, mind you, yes, you could have a set time to schedule them, and that's good maintenance. But why do it in the summer? Take 2 offline when we're going to have a peak period? This month, get it fixed and start running it for about 2 weeks to make sure nothing is wrong, and then take the other one offline. Don't take the 2 off.
Yeah. Now, based on what they were saying, thank you very much. What they were saying is that happens, is scheduled maintenance, but then something else that they didn't expect to happen happened. And so because those were out for maintenance, that issue that occurred that they didn't expect to happen caused a problem. So that's how life works, right? So that's unfortunate. But yeah, they got more problems than
every summer, Dwight. Every summer.
Every month. Every month.
I'm just emphasizing this. Every summer there's an issue, as if summer comes as a surprise.
Well, let me tell you something. That means that in Eastern New Providence, we have summer every month of the year. So that's all I'm saying. So it's always summer in the Bahamas. But anyway, we're going to take a break and we'll get to your text messages and a whole lot more. We're going to talk about, what happened again. Another man out on bail for murdered. This obviously is for us. But we'll talk about all of that coming up. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Y'all ready again? Here we go. Said she promised she gonna marry me. Oh, yeah. Then she run away. Man, she promised she'd be faithful to me. Oh, yeah. But then I catch her with Stevie. Say she take all my money. Oh, yeah. She take my car. Oh, yeah. My virginity. Oh, yeah. Is with her now. Oh, yeah. Now I get a little crazy. Oh, yeah. Can't even sleep. Oh, yeah. I can't even eat. Oh, yeah. Don't want nothing to drink. Oh, yeah. I should have listened to mommy. Oh, yeah. I should have listened to papa.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. There's no deal on a Hollywood actor's contract. A vote on whether to strike is next. That vote will be today, says the union. If the actors strike, they would be joining screenwriters on the picket lines, trying to get a better deal from studios and streaming giants like Netflix and Amazon. Now, the vulnerable across much of the nation. A tornado touched down near Chicago's O'Hare International Airport last night, disrupting hundreds of flights. Hillary and Greg Timpey are in the Chicago suburb of Countryside, Illinois. They say the tornado damaged some homes in their neighborhood.
When the winds kicked up really hard and really fast, and it was like, basement now, grab the dog, let's go. And it wasn't more than a couple seconds after that it got really crazy.
It was pretty terrifying, but we've already checked in with everybody and everyone seems to be okay.
They talked to WLS TV. Now to that fierce heat.
Some locations in Southern California deserts will see temperatures over 120 degrees.
Courtney Carpenter of the National Weather Service is telling California residents that the intense heat is not going to let up anytime soon, and those triple-digit temperatures are increasing the risk of wildfires. Brian Ferguson of the Governor's Office of Emergency Services.
It's not just heat, it's how it interacts with these other threats that we face at the state level that we want the public to understand and be prepared for.
Ferguson also said heat combined with the volume of water in California's mountains is bringing down an unprecedented amount of water, and he says that dangerous and very cold water already has claimed a number of lives this year. I'm Donna Warder.
And we're just getting word that a Russian general in charge of forces fighting in southern Ukraine has been relieved of his duties after speaking out about the problems faced by his troops. Major General Ivan Popov. This is AP News. The latest now on the fighting in Ukraine.
Ukrainian air defenses have shot down 20 drones fired by Russia, mostly at the Kyiv region overnight. The latest barrage by the Kremlin's forces began shortly after midnight, and explosions shook different parts of the city. There were reports of some injuries from shrapnel. Debris also damaged the frontage of a 25-story apartment, where emergency crews worked overnight to secure the area. One of the residents, Vladimir Motas, told the AP,
I was in my apartment and suddenly I hear...
Strikes have become a grim part of everyday life in Ukraine over the almost 17 months of war. I'm Karen Shamas.
Special Envoy John Kerry will go to China next week to talk about strategies for limiting global warming. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
7:33, the time now. Time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Get in gear with an RBC Auto Loan. In your real-time traffic, Milo Butler Highway, not looking so bad. Traffic about midway between Fire Trail and Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. So as you're approaching Harold Pond, you'll see that line in front of you if you're heading northbound. Glasgow Road's a better alternate route for you this morning, and just near Muddings Road, you'll see that congestion heading northbound toward JFK Drive and the roundabout with Bahamar Boulevard. Elsewhere, not looking so bad so far this morning. We've got some building traffic on Blue Hill Road northbound heading toward Independence Drive, along East-West Highway and Abundant Light Road. At that junction there, looking a little busy for you, busier than normal at this hour, and manageable elsewhere. We'll see how things look after the 8 o'clock news. We'll have another update for you then. This traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC Auto Loan. And 7:34, time for another check of your weather for this morning, brought to you by the Bahamas Games. We've got a dissipating frontal boundary near the northern Bahamas that will wash out later today, while a surface ridge of high pressure will persist across the area, allowing for hot conditions to continue across the Bahamas. For all areas today, look for partly mostly sunny and hot conditions. A bit breezy in the central and southeast Bahamas, with a slight chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms during the day, becoming mostly fair and muggy tonight with a stray shower. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should be alert for rip currents along east and south coast beaches, and boaters should be alert for water spouts. Expecting another extremely hot day today, highs getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit. 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. And so everybody's being urged to remain hydrated and limit prolonged periods in the sun during peak hours. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a very warm 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. We are at about 86 right now under partly cloudy skies. In your extended outlook, over the next few days, surface high pressure will continue to maintain the hot conditions. That will be at least until Friday and into the weekend. And the northern extent of a westward moving tropical wave will increase the chance of showers and thunderstorms across portions of the islands during the weekend. So for Friday, Tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny, hot, and humid, with a chance of a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms, becoming mostly fair and warm at night. Saturday, partly sunny, hot, and humid, thunderstorms, again becoming mostly fair and warm at night. We'll have your look at the tropics coming up in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. But this weather check brought to you by the Bahamas Games. Bahamas Games going on until July 15th. For more information, call 322-1029 or follow the Bahamas Games on social media at Bahama Games.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Get in gear with an RBC auto loan with up to 100% financing, extended repayment, and low interest rates. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up. Conditions apply.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Ew! Chimichurri cheeseburger. Chimichurri. That's how you pronounce it. Let it roll off your tongue. Then get ready for some ridiculously good flavor. Fresh, herby, garlicky, green, chimichurri. It'll feel like a relaxing backyard get-together with friends on a Sunday. Put in a burger. Come meet Wendy's new Chimichurri cheeseburger with our new Dave's Craft lemonade. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Bahamas Games? What was the purpose of the games?
The purpose is twofold. One, to bring Bahamians from throughout the Commonwealth together through sports. And the second, to find talented athletes throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to be trained and possibly make it to the Olympic level.
When the games is?
This July 7th to the 15th.
For more info, call 322-1029.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust is a must. Come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Clarence, ain't that boy supposed to be spending summer with his mother them in Florida? Or he going to cousin Hezekiah to help out with them boats on the island? Cause we too old to fly.
Grammy, send me. I could go by myself on Bahamas Air. Once it's before 5 o'clock in the evening.
Educate Grammy.
They say 5 to 14 is unaccompanied minor, Grammy. I 12. Bahamas Air got plenty pretty stewardess I can cut up with.
Cut up? Boy, you better cut up with them books.
Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together. And we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. Representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
It's back, the 35th annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp,
July 17th through 28th, inside Kendall Isaac's Gym, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. For boys and girls 5 through 18. Sign up your child now at South Bahamas Seventh-day Adventist Office, Tonic Williams Highway, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's the Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp, July 17th through 28th at Kendall Isaac's Gym, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Special appearances by NBA stars, legends, and coaches. The 35th annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp, it's back.
Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us, 341-6599 or 341-2350.
Indulge in an experience that awakens your senses with Nescafe Gold. Premium Arabica coffee beans, carefully selected, roasted to perfection, and finely ground, resulting in a unique and unmatched flavor and aroma that captivates the senses. Enticing aroma, smooth taste. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Your boom pineapple wine, you dust. Your boom pineapple wine, you $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see you. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, you $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see you. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, you $1.50 all the time. And you dance hot like pepper pot. From the old to the young, gotta make your body rock. It's really easy, easy peasy. You can do it anywhere. Jump around like you don't care. Singing, turn around and let me see you. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, you $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see you. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, you $1.50 all the time. A young man broke his leg, old granny broke her back.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner on this Thursday morning. And we are talking about what's in the news, talking about BPL. Boy. And more. And some of the traffic issue time in just a bit. So we got a lot of your text messages to get to. You can still call in, though, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Okay, so let's read these messages. Somebody says here, Bamsey, the airport, Newton's building, Customs, Frank Hanna building, all burned down. Nobody knows who did it. Now BPL. Names I'm not too sure about, but okay. The bikes is the police bikes. The police bikes were brought over as outriders for our overlords. Okay. Okay. This person says here with the amount of investments, a progressive idea would be for every 3 to 5 years, our generation for power should increase by 50 megawatts. That is what we should be implementing. That's a text. Okay. This one says your PAMs are really tired of hearing the blame games in the House of Assembly between the government and the opposition. That's all. MPs, this is no time for brownie points. Yeah, they keep trying. I don't know who they think they're getting them from, because we just get annoyed. But okay. Most BAMs are crazy because they keep voting the same people back in. The ones who aren't crazy are the ones who are benefiting from the incompetence and or corruption. It's crazy in this banana republic. Well, Well, I still think they're crazy. They're also voting these same people, so everybody's crazy. You're right about that part. This one here. What we are seeing is the gradual dismantling of the working class, and yet we hold nobody accountable as decades of mismanagement cost us in money, time, and in some cases lives. Neither party cares, and sadly, neither do we. Well, just keep paying and complaining. Same with politicians. Keep hiring and paying them, knowing that they mess up. And they turn around and glorify the Prime Minister of the day as a leader. No PM in the last 20 years has left anything but a legacy of waste. Wow. Okay. It's not for the air. This one says, in regards to the DW that is in the Centerville area, remember Mr. Christie never used to use his allowances. Maybe the present MP can draw down on that money and put AC in the building. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. That's taxpayers' money. I'm thinking that corporate Bahamas could step up and someone could donate something, right? And donate the solar panels, and right? That would be good. Maybe? No?
Be really good.
Yeah. And then that does, right? The MP does that. There's still work to be done in the community, so that's not going to be entirely a helpful situation. But corporate Bahamas can do it. Right?
Sure.
They got a lot of stuff they give it away all the time and parties, big time parties all the time. Right? So
Who's having big time parties?
Everybody, every weekend, everywhere. So yeah. Anyway, do we really have time to be talking about this type of stuff? What type of stuff? Do you see what's happening in the international world? What type of stuff are you talking about that we should be talking about?
What did I miss?
You have Russia reaching out to us for congratulations. Why would they do that? Now you have Ukraine, who is going to be given the opportunity to join NATO. Everything is lining up. We could predict what's going to happen. Who are we going to let use our airspace when this happens? America or Russia? It's a real question. Don't brush it off. Oh, Lord.
So we shouldn't talk about, because of what's happening in the world.
Yes, because the world is spiraling toward World War III. Who cares if your power goes off all the time?
We shouldn't talk about what's happening in the country.
Yeah, we just need to be building the bunkers, the underground. Underground? Well, in the caves, bunkers, and prepare for the end. Okay. I don't know what this text means. This one says here, BPL maintenance, several non-exhaustive possibilities, no money, or there is a scam going on because rental power is a big business and big opportunity for the right players. Notice that they never reveal any details on costs on supplier services. I don't know if they never, but okay. I live in the South. The power was out 5 times yesterday. What now? Is it really a new day? I voted for them, but they don't seem to have a fix for BPL either. I mean, why would you think how does it work?
Nobody has
right.
a fix.
Why would a party have the fix? Okay.
They would not have a fix.
But 5 times, that's crazy. Now, I heard Bremen earlier. I mean, y'all are very patient because I am one of those people, and they hate me. I call every hour. When you told me it was going to be on in an hour, and an hour and 10 minutes go by, I'm calling you. And I'm calling you an hour after that. And I will call again. And I'm calling everybody I know at BPL. I'm calling everybody. You won't sleep if I'm sleeping in the hot dark. And I think everybody needs to be like that.
To suffer together.
We're all going to suffer. You will have to turn off your phone, but you won't get any other calls either. But we're going to be on the ship together. And I implore everyone to be like that. Caller.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Ms. Gardner.
Hi.
Dwight, when there's chaos, there are some people who benefit immensely, especially in this country. Let me ask a question. In 2018, there was a company that presented a proposal to build a biomass plant in North Andros for like $50 million. The plant was supposed to be like 10 to 15 megawatts. So what's the size of the plant that burned down in North Andros right now? Is it about the same size?
I'm not sure, but
I think it's about the same size, 10 to 15 megawatts.
Mm-hmm.
But the big question I have is the Bahamas government had to deal with what's still just for the engines now for $95 million. and that's for 132 megawatts. So if $95 million could buy 132 megawatts engines, where does the government get their $600 million evaluation to build a power plant for small North Angeles that barely has 5,000 people in it? Answer that question. How did they come up with $600 million when the 132 megawatt power plant, the engine itself, only costs $95 million?
Wow.
I like to listen.
Yeah, always mysteries like that, always with BPL. Is that for us? Yes. Yeah, let's take this call. Okay. No, they don't. Okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good morning, Laverne.
Morning.
A very interesting conversation this morning. The only comment I'm going to make at this point and continue to listen is this. With the carbon credits that is claimed that the Bahamas has, well, when I say has in its possession, let's say allegedly or quite possibly can have in its possession. You don't think the correlation between us not emitting so much carbon dioxide into the air with our power plants? Do you believe that we can get credit now to rebuild our electrical grid, rebuild our power stations? We know folk of organization, let's say FOCOL, is responsible for providing the fuels for this country. Do you think that it's now about time, if we are truly serious as a people, to move away from fossil fuels, really start to put in solar panels and a different electrical grid, even if it means it's LP, and move away from this bunkersy fuel and stuff? Do you think that we can use the credits towards that?
Probably, but I mean, who's the we? Because, right, you probably should be doing that individually. You mean that what BPL needs to do this? You're waiting for them to do this?
I'm talking about as far as the Bahamas government is concerned, representing the people on the world stage with the carbon credits. You don't believe that we can now approach the international community who is responsible for holding the carbon credits and actually begin the process of changing up what we have now?
Nobody's stopping us. I mean, why
that's why I'm putting it out there. I know that now is the time to agitate our government, seeing that we have these carbon credits, and also on the back end, it is alleged that we have 156 billion, or the capacity to have 156 billion dollars from our seagrass, which is also something that
I don't think we need to mix these things up together. If they really were that interested, they would be doing it.
Okay,
they're moving very slowly to getting to that 30% renewables thing, right? That's only a few years off the 2030 goal, and we're making tiny progress. So if they really were that interested, I think they'd be a lot further along. But maybe it's us, maybe because we keep waiting for them and we're not doing it ourselves. If they saw more people, and that's a lot of money, I know, but if they saw more of us doing it, then they might say we better get on this.
Well, I'll close on this one point, Dwight. I think, and you're absolutely correct, we should not wait on the government to do it. I think it's about time we as a people get off our butts. See, this political party separation has us divided as a people. We need to get off our collective butts and agitate our governments to initiate and push this thing through. We cannot wait for, no, this is a matter of urgency. We need to agitate them to get this job done. This BPL thing is decades, loads of problem. We need to solve this problem once and for all, but it only happens with a single step. And if we do not agitate them to get this thing done, we're going to be right here in the next 5-10 years singing the same song and dance, and nothing is going to get done.
Yeah.
Okay? Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks a lot. We'll take that call, and then I want to get to some of these messages. Good morning. You're on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Good morning.
Hi.
To you, Dwight, and your calls and Bahamas. I just want to say two things. We need to start, just look at what's happening out there in the world. There was a guy that brought forth a plan to put a mobile power plant on the sea, that any one of these islands that have a serious shortage, you could just move the boat to that island and power up the whole island. That's the first one. And the second one is, in first world countries, they have persons that buy their own solar system back to the government. So just like how the government has a meter going in, you have a meter coming out. This is simple stuff. See, people keep complaining about this ain't happening. It's a collective. I
believe provisions are in place for that here now. The provisions are in place for that here now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But why are we not doing it?
I mean, I don't know that it's not happening.
Well, I want to get a part of it.
It's definitely not widespread. But yeah, you can get more information. I think IRCA can give you more information. BPL can tell you it's not a simple process, but they can. That was definitely in discussion a few years back. Or you could just go, right, rely on them much less than you need to, be more independent of them, of the grid. But yeah, these opportunities exist.
So my point to you, Dwight, is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not doing it?
Yeah.
And I thank you, and I appreciate your show. I listen all the time. And
thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So a couple messages here. Oh boy. So we were talking about the D.W. Davis gym, right? So I didn't think about this part. This is really disturbing. Imagine students taking exams in those gyms with no AC or malfunctioning AC.
Wow.
That is terrible. Because it looked painful last night. It really did. Great game, but it looked painful. So imagine that. And then you know how that can impact. So
I can tell you now, I wouldn't do well.
No.
I don't do well with heat. I'd be there. I would not do well sitting in the exam. Can I sit outside?
Right? Oh, that's terrible. Please,
but
corporate
perhaps
Bahamas.
with these games, perhaps because of these games and us talking about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe something will get.
Corporate Bahamas, please step up, please. This person says here, can any caller call in to say what repairs are ongoing for schools right now as it is summer? No, right? Watch for all the complaints when school opens about how nobody did anything all summer and now they're scrambling to fix or need money for some new magical renovations. This type of incompetence applies across all ministries, not just to works or education. Stop letting people appoint themselves Minister of Finance if they can't manage money. Who appoint themselves? What are you talking about? Anyway, okay.
Who's the Minister of Finance?
Who is the Prime Minister? Is the Minister of Finance?
And who appoints?
And who appoints?
The
right?
rest of the cabinet.
But
so that's the point.
Yeah,
that's the point the texters making.
The texter is right though. Right. With school renovations, we're about what? Mid-July, so about a month and a week or so. The teachers are expected back, and the students right after that. And what's going to happen? Are they going to be ready? We're going to do the same old dance every single year since apparently before independence. We're going to be doing this.
Yes.
Oh, boy. All right, so we're going to take a break for news and be back with a whole lot more to talk about. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:18, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. We've got a dissipating frontal boundary near the northern Bahamas. That's going to wash out later today, while a surface ridge of high pressure will persist across the area, continue across the country. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should be alert for rip currents along east and south coast beaches. Boaters should be alert for potential water spouts, and everybody's being urged to remain hydrated and to stay out of the sun. Limit outdoor sun exposure during peak hours, as heat indices will again be in the triple digits. So, for all areas today, forecast partly mostly sunny and hot, a bit breezy in the central and southeast Bahamas, slight chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms during the day, becoming mostly fair and muggy tonight with a stray shower or two possible. Small craft operators in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution. Temperatures getting up to 93 Fahrenheit. That's 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. We are at about 87, 88 degrees right now under mostly cloudy skies. In your extended outlook, we've got, over the next few days, the surface high pressure is going to continue to maintain the hot conditions straight into the weekend, as the northern extent of a westward moving tropical wave will increase the chance for a few showers and thunderstorms across portions of the islands during that time. So, for Friday, tomorrow, partly mostly sunny, hot and humid, with the chance of a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms, becoming mostly fair and warm at night. Saturday, partly sunny, hot and humid, with the chance of a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms, becoming mostly fair and warm at night. In the tropics, we've got an area that's going to continue to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms, primarily to the southeast of its center. Environmental conditions are forecast to be marginally conducive for the system to become subtropical, a subtropical depression or storm during the next couple of days while it meanders over the central Atlantic. By the weekend, the low should turn northward, bringing the system over cooler waters, potentially limiting additional development. Formation chance through the next 7 days is medium at about 60%. No threat to us at all, so don't worry about that. Elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 7 days. That is your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online, or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years as the first Bahamian general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. .21 the time for another check of your traffic, brought to you by RBC. Get in gear with an RBC auto loan. Okay, we've got a number of issues to tell you about. Mile Butler Highway is busy from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. That's well south of Fire Trail, actually, straight up to the roundabout with Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. And traffic backed up along Tonic Williams-Darling Highway as well, westbound to that roundabout route for you. Gladstone Road, that looks a lot better for you. Just about a third of the way from JFK Drive, if you're heading northbound, you'll see that heavy traffic heading up to that roundabout. Over on Blue Hill Road, things are busy as well near Carmichael, and especially north of Soldier Road, heading northbound to Independence Drive. And we have some. It's manageable, unusual at this hour. Don't normally see it, but near University Drive and Poinciana Drive at the roundabout. Near Nassau Street, it's looking busy, busier than usual there this morning. Elsewhere, Robinson Road, heavy traffic for you. You're going to be waiting in line near Robinson and near Soldier and Old Trail. If you're heading westbound, it's looking busy there. And just at some of the major intersections, you're going to be seeing some congestion. Bernard, Wolf, Soldier, Village, northbound marathon as well. But manageable. That's what we're looking at this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC auto loan. We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with Laverne Gardner. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with a group from Coding Bahamas Future. They have a Teachers Who Code summer workshop coming up, and we'll get details about that in a few minutes. Later in business, I want to talk about what the Works Minister is saying about how we may soon see a marked improvement in Nassau roads. Hi. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. All right, so I told you about this. We heard about this yesterday. Yet another man out on bail for murder. Murdered. It's happening every couple of days now. And everybody's very chill about it. It's like, no biggie. Oh, well. Ah, well. Yeah? Okay. Take a listen to this report from our Jared Higgs.
Police are following significant leads after a 26-year-old man who's on bail for murder was found shot to death in a vehicle off Blue Hill Road South early this morning. Police press liaison officer, Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings, updated media on the scene.
It was around 7 a.m. when our department was notified that a male was found inside a white Paso with gunshot injuries. Our officers responded and on arrival confirmed the same. At present, my comments are going to be very, very limited, and I can say to you that we are following significant leads in this particular incident, and once the officers have done their due diligence, I will come back to you and update you further. I can say that the individual is currently on bail for murder, and he was also being electronically monitored for that offense. And so we're going to allow the officers from the Criminal Investigation Department to do their due diligence as they usually do, and we will get back to you with additional information regarding this latest incident in short order.
Meanwhile, the Nassau Guardian has identified one of the men who was shot and killed last week off Sealing Drive as 26-year-old Jakeem Grant. Grant and another man were shot and killed after they were approached as they sat in a car. A close relative of Grant told our news team that he turned 26 the day he was killed. That family member described Grant as a funny, charismatic person who was always life of the party with a strong aura of love. They said at times it was hard to take him seriously because he would burst out into laughter after being stern about a situation. They continued, describing him as a sweet and docile young man and a pillar of strength. That relative acknowledges that Grant had run-ins with the law, including being charged with attempted murder. However, she disputed claims by police that he was being electronically monitored. That relative did admit that Grant was known to police and had been questioned many times. However, they say he was never found guilty. That relative says some of his friends were on a different path, though. Grant's stepfather tried his hardest, alongside his mother, to give him all the love they could have, but to no avail, the relative said. They said the fact that he didn't have a relationship with his biological father affected him deeply. News in the
Wow, that was a lot. Okay, Jared Higgs with that report there. So, processing that last part. It didn't So, Laverne, here we are again. It's just, again, every few days. Yeah, that last case that was in the last part of the story there, that was just a few days ago, July 6th.
Yeah.
So every few days, somebody out on bail for murder or attempted murder is gunned down. And
vigilante justice. I don't know.
well, it's something justice.
Is that it? I don't know. What is it?
Something justice. I don't know. It could be. It could maybe.
At this point, it would be better maybe for them not to apply for this.
Obviously, everybody's prepared to take their chances, but so we just. I mean, it's obvious. This is, as I said last week, it's clearly intentional. This is we cannot pretend anymore. If you have a loved one out on bail for murder, especially attempted murder, or even being electronically monitored, I mean, you need it when you see them, when they're heading out the door. Wish them all the best. Tell them you love them, because that will likely be it. This is where we are. So we're all cool with this? 2 thumbs up? Tell us. Like, yeah? Okay. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. 242-300-5720. That's our toll-free line. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Is this the official plan to deal with overcrowding in the prison, to deal with the ineffective court system? We're going to just, you're charged, you're getting takeout. That's it? Yeah? Mm-hmm. And it's busy. You got the church people, you got to bury them, so, collection plate stuff. That's what we're doing? Because that's how it seems. All right. As long as everybody is on the same page. Well, okay. That's how it is. Did you hear the story of this? Strong aura of love. That's what the other victim.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stood out to me as like a strong arm. I don't know what that means, but
And I don't want to make fun of anybody, but the thing that they said about the outburst after a serious, I'm paraphrasing, but outburst of laughter after a serious issue before, that those were signs. Those are not good things. It's serious. Bipolar, maybe something worse, right? So don't take those things lightly. Somebody's very stern, serious, and then suddenly... Okay, let's hear what you have to say, because clearly nobody cares. Good morning, you're on the air.
Well, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And I used to have this level of sarcasm and cynicism, and I love it, by the way.
I'm being very serious. I'm not being sarcastic or serious. Clearly, this is the plan. This is clearly, I'm very serious. We cannot pretend anymore. This is intentional. Nothing is being done. Right? No one is monitoring the people who are out on bail for murder. Like, okay, you're probably in danger, so we're going to have police in your area. We will restrict your movement so you don't get hurt when you're out on the park for some reason in the middle of the day, just sitting around with a bunch of people. We're not going to tell you not to do that. We're just going to let you do whatever you want so you can get yourself killed. Obviously, this is the plan.
And the bystanders.
Yes.
Don't talk about the innocent bystanders, because they're not... well, you know what happened in Fox Hill. If you use an automatic weapon, you don't know who is going to get hurt. And that's sad, isn't it? But we talked about this long time ago. The bail reform, 1. And number 2, humane living standards in the prison. And number 3, paying the armed forces properly. The same as we get for the same rank in Toronto, Canada. Why not? We have the money to do everything else. So, when are we going to come up with a humane prison system? We, for the less, have people go and trade farm.
Graham, what are you calling us on? I mean, what part of the world are you in? Because what's happening? What is this?
I don't know, man. I'm in my work.
You're what?
I'm on my...
Oh, boy. Well, they are not doing you right.
Well, let's walk out.
Okay. This is horrible. You might as well be calling us from the Arctic. I don't know. Yeah? Is that better if you walked sufficiently enough? Oh, dear. Okay. That might be. Is he gone now, officially?
Made it worse.
Oh, that made it worse. Oh, dear. Okay.
Can't hear him at all now.
Well, look at that. So some of your text messages, this person says here, the moral of the story is don't murder and don't attempt murder. Don't be known to the police or be electronically monitored, and you will be fine for the most part. Well, it all depends on what for the most part means, right? So what are we saying? That, all right, so you get what you deserve? That's what we're saying? We're still being known as a country with high gun violence. People of only 400,000 who just love to shoot and kill people. They're not pointing out, by the way, most of those were out on bail for murder. They're not saying that. It just looks like it's an unsafe place, especially Nassau, right? So I don't know if this is the right policy. Let's take this one. Good morning. You're on the air.
Oh, good morning.
Doing well. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my input just with the gun violence. I just want to say, I think we don't do enough cohort research and observational research. Because, for example, so much people go through the process in the cities as when you get 14, 15, or even 12, 13, you get into gangs. Then you go to prison. Some people end up dying. And then others, you find them struggling later on in their 30s and 40s. So we could see there's a pattern. So I think if we do more observational research to get first-hand way to address policies.
Okay. What do you mean by that? First-hand research. Like, what do you mean? Like, go and talk? Okay, he's gone. Okay, I mean, I hear you. It's always good to do research. I agree. I don't know. I think we have enough information to know exactly what's happening, right? We see it every day. These kids are being, especially boys, at a certain age, just allowed to run free. Just do whatever you want. Go get yourself busy. Just get out of my face making noise. And who knows, just don't come back. I don't even know what I didn't even know. Just go and come back before it's too late. Is that it? I don't know. A few messages before we have to take a break. This person says, Dwight, who monitors electronic monitors? Does it track where you are? Well, whoever is doing this is suspicious, I guess you're saying. We have to take our heads out of the sands. Why are they suspicious? I mean, they're doing the silly job they've been tasked with, right? They can tell where you've been after the fact. But what about it? We're not limiting where they are to go. So this makes no sense. You're free to roam the island as much as you want. And we'll know that you were there. If anything happened at that time, Tuesday at 4 p.m., well, yeah, we can see that you were there. So that means you probably were involved. But it's not telling you Tuesday at 4 p.m. when you live 10 miles the other direction. So the whole system is very silly. These folks need to be limited in their movement. That might be the best way to protect them from death if we care about their lives. But it is clear we don't. We don't. This one says here, he was jovial around them, but torturing other families. Oh, this is one of the victims. The mother was more upset that they said that he was being monitored, but not upset that he was hurting people with crime. A lot of people don't have fathers, but they don't hurt other people. So these are excuses. Yeah. It's tough. I feel for them, though. It's sad. But yeah, I don't know why they were more...
It's not all around.
Yeah. I do wonder why they were more upset about the fact that he was, whether this disputed ankle monitoring thing versus a charge with attempted murder thing, you know? I mean, okay.
Well, like you said, Dwight, it's an ankle monitor. It isn't going to prevent something from happening to you if there are no restrictions. If you're free to go, if the ankle monitor says It's their ankle monitor, and I don't know how that works. But if it doesn't say, okay, you cannot go 100 miles, or you know what I mean, 10 miles, 5 miles, 3 miles away from your home, it just, and you're free to go anywhere, everywhere, you know,
Yeah, it's crazy.
what is it really doing?
What's the point?
Because I thought it restricted your movement in the sense that you could only, you could only go so far.
Not this system we've ever had. I mean, that was
You
the
sure?
initial, never. It was the initial discussion before it was implemented. But as soon as it was implemented, it was only supposed to be used on people charged with murder, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So is it just to know where they are then?
It's a fashion statement, clearly. I don't know what the point is. But they can find your body when you're dead. Oh, he hasn't moved from this area in this park for 10 hours. That's odd. Let's go and see. Like, oops.
I'm interested in knowing exactly how it works. What's the purpose of it?
Obviously, there's no purpose. All we hear is at a crime scene, he was being electronically monitored. And now he's dead. So obviously, it's useless. Very useless. This person says the capital punishment is being meted out by the criminals against each other. Well, you'd be surprised. Criminals, that's an interesting word there. I don't know if it's only criminals. I guess they're all criminals, but because the state refuses to do it, why can't our national leaders see that? Well, again, are you sure they're all criminals? This person says the best way to get guns off the street is to nip it in the bud at the source. Find out who's putting the guns on the street in the first place and stop them. You think that's the best way? Okay. I hear you. I agree with you about the electronic monitoring. What good is it to say a person is being monitored when they are dead? Mm-hmm. Another one. In other countries, people pay to get the privilege to be monitored, not the state. Start making them pay to be monitored. Where they can get the money from? Some of them will have to go and rob people at gunpoint to get the money to do that. So I don't know. This one says that the guy was dead for 2 days in South Beach and no one questioned why he didn't move for 3 days. Dwight, if you have on monitor, you can't go in the area where the crime happened. It will go off. I don't understand what you're saying. After the fact? That's what you're saying? That's what you mean? Yeah.
I'm not sure. What are they saying? You can't go into the area where the crime that you're accused of?
I don't understand what's going on. Okay. Clearly this thing is insane. We got to go to a break, but I want to take these calls really quickly and then we'll move on. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Calling in for a second time. Just to talk a little bit about the ankle bracelet program, because I do have some knowledge on it. Depending upon the conditions that the person is being monitored with, you could actually the bracelet serves a number of there's a number of benefits for one. If that person was to remain at home, we normally call it a geofence. Anytime that person penetrates the area that it was preset for that person, an alarm goes off, and the authorities then know that the person is attempting or has breached.
Now, you're talking about how it works in theory and in sensible places. That's what you mean, right?
No, it actually
Are you saying they've done that here?
Yeah, it actually works.
Who has been restricted in movement here? I mean, how serious a crime did that person commit? Because people are on bail for 5 murders. So what did this person do? They just mowed down a whole neighborhood? What happened there?
But like I said, it all depends on
they probably stole a book. That's probably what they did. Because I can't imagine why they would restrict your movement when people are out on bail for 5 murders.
Well, like you so rightfully said, I don't think that system is really designed for persons at that level. I think for minor offenses, probably pickpocket or creating a nuisance in society or something. I would believe that was what the program really should have been designed for. But now where it's escalated to persons who have committed heinous crimes and murder and stuff, I mean, Sometimes I'm baffled as to how come these people are out with ankle bracelets on. Like one of your persons previously said as well. You know, it seems as if the state isn't willing to deal with the matter, so it's more like vigilante justice out here where they're taking out each other.
Yeah.
And it's a whole bunch of nonsense going on. But the ankle bracelet program does work. It all depends on who's monitoring. It all depends on whether
It works to do what?
You know,
what does it work to do? Because all we hear is that the victim was being monitored electronically, or one of the suspects is being monitored electronically after somebody's already dead. So what's it working? How is it working? Who is it working for?
Well, Dwight, all I can do is tell you that the system does work.
Okay.
Now, who is ever monitoring it, whatever, that's a totally different thing. But the system does work.
It can work. Not the way we're doing it, though. This one says here, the monitor is to track where the person is, so very easily, once the person is tracked, the hitman will know where he is and can come and kill him. I think we know exactly who's killing these murderers. Oh, boy. This person's, my blood pressure's up, Laverne, apparently. I'm in serious problems. But listen to this. I've been listening to Guardian Radio since its inception, I find it amazing that you recycle the same issues. If you are not, then we, the country, must come to the realization that we are like hamsters on a wheel, bragging about the movement, but still at the same place. Okay. Yeah, it's the latter. Don't let me lose my mind on you. Just for fun. It's the same issues because this is the same issues happening since we went on the air for nearly 12 years. So,
and
yes.
you've said that over
I say it over and over.
again.
I will one day wake up and play a show from July 2013, and you will not know the difference. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Let's take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
He paid the bills, that was understood. I have no time, he said, for myself. Oh my, look what I done to myself. Every morning she wake up, go for this and go for that. Till sundown, hear a chat. Got her up this, got her up that. Oh my, for goodness sake, go for this and go for that. I get so tired, I need a break.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Get in gear with an RBC auto loan with up to 100% financing, extended repayment, and low interest rates. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up. Conditions apply.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us. So call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business.
The Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority invites all private companies and civic organizations to adopt a roundabout. This is your chance to stand out from the crowd, beautify and enhance our local areas for residents and tourists alike, just in time for the 50th anniversary of our independence. With this opportunity, you can engage persons on the go, generate media interest, and promote your company. Stand out and celebrate 50. For more information, you can call 242-604-3750.
Don't let go of your chance to win big with Alive on 700 Wines and Spirits. We've got an exclusive promotion just for you. Purchase 3 or more refreshing Click Rattlers and pair them with our Freedom 12 plan or higher at 700 Wines and Spirits. To enter the contest, simply write your name and phone number on the front of your receipt. Then snap a photo of your receipt and WhatsApp it to 242-805-7511. This promotion ends July 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Alive. Believe in best.
Boy supposed to be spending summer with the mother them in Florida, or he going to cousin Hezekiah to help out with them ghosts on the island, because we too old to fly.
Grammy, send me. I could go by myself on Bahamas Air once it's before 5 o'clock in the evening.
Educate Grammy.
They say 5 to 14 is unaccompanied minor, Grammy. I 12. Bahamas Air got plenty pretty stewardess I can cut up with.
Cut up? Boy, you better cut up with them books.
Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us. Total Auto Care. Call us at 341-6599 or 341-2350.
A lot of folks are wondering, what is the Agrarian Awards? It's an award show to celebrate the people who produce the food that feeds the country. So September 16th, we're giving out trophies and money to young farmers, backyard farmers, sheep runners, goat herders, pea pickers, onion planters. Basically, everyone. But we couldn't fit all that on the invite, so go to adobahamas.org to find out how to nominate your favorite agrarian. The Agrarian Awards, September 16th.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Nassau is the capital, Bahamas. Bimini is the gateway, Bahamas. 1492, Columbus landed. 1973, we were free. From Nassau to Inawa, Bahamas. From Freeport to McWarner, Bahamas. Tourists love our country, Bahamas. 700 islands, Bahamas. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Happy anniversary, Bahamas. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Golden anniversary, Bahamas. Regarding in Tuma, Bahamas. Fishing in Long Island, Bahamas. Sailing on the Melbourne, Bahamas. Diving funk and West End, Bahamas. Peas and rice and fried.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Laverne Gardner. We're changing gears now. Changing gears have caused enough trouble for the day. Coding Bahamas Future. They are our guests this morning, and they've got something special happening, a summer workshop for teachers who code. Here to tell us all about this, we've got Executive Director of Coding Bahamas Future, Ryan Austin, and Communications Director, Kimberly King-Burns. Great to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. And good morning, teachers. Good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
All right, so we're going to Coding Bahamas Future. What exactly is Coding Bahamas Future all about? Who is Coding Bahamas Future?
Well,
Coding.
go ahead, Kim.
The program was started last summer. Catherine Janus had the idea of wanting to put something together specific to coding, and knew that I'd worked with Ryan in his context of Bites Bahamas on Harbor Island for several years. I run Broad Island Modem Fund, which is an Out Island community foundation that was put in place in 1995, largely for Harbor Island and Eleuthera, but has since expanded to other islands. So the concept for Coding Bahamas Future was to, not to gain on the applications that have been made available for kids and help the teachers in the public all-age school systems around the country teach their kids. So we're showing them how to teach their kids. There's no computer science education needed previously.
Wow. Okay. You said the year. How long has it been now? Say that again for us.
This is our second summer project, right, Ryan?
That is correct. Yep. Yeah. And I guess to put it together even more succinctly is that we're just a project created by a volunteer group of private citizens from different sectors of the local community. And we intend to build up technology coding literacy within the public educational system of the Bahamas. And this is our second project. That is correct.
All right. So,
and we've
Kim,
been thrilled to enjoy the support of Ministry of Education, University of the Bahamas. We've got really good people on our side helping us drive this public-private sector initiative forward.
So there are going to be some people who are listening who have heard a lot about coding but still don't understand it or don't know anything about coding. So explain that to us. Talking about here when we talk about coding.
Well, what we're talking about is we're talking about learning skills to put together computer programs or to build computer programs and to make the computer do the things that we want it to do. For example, Zoom, an application that we all used during 2020 and we still are using today, is a computer application. Gmail is a computer web application. And so coding is really learning to think, learning to structure yourself, learning to become organized. You can code your day, right? You can say, well, I'm going to organize your day. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get there? And that's what coding is, deploying all of these skills we use already in life, but putting it in a way that the computer understands. And I think that's the most simple way I can explain it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea as to the number of people who are doing this right now in the Bahamas? Is there any way to tell?
There's no way to tell. But what I have learned since starting this project and actually being a part of IT broadly for a number of years now is that it's just growing, and it's growing tremendously and in a fabulous way. It's an exciting time. Because as a software developer myself, I have met so many different software developers and working in all different fields and working in so many different industries in the Bahamas that it's just like, for me, it's extremely exciting. What I've seen is that many companies now are embracing software development teams within their companies. You see this across insurance and the medical institutions, et cetera. Education, because they're realizing that they interact with their clients. Their clients want interfaces to interact with them directly. They see account information. For example, you see it with all of our utilities now. I think Water and Sewage, for example, has one of the best web apps out there for managing your water bill accounts or your water and sewage accounts. So you see it in all these different places, and the amount of industry professionals, while we cannot know, we know it has grown tremendously within the past 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And is it possible? Kimberly, go on. Mm-hmm.
I was just going to compliment that. In terms of pragmatic uses around the Out Islands, the apps that a lot of Ryan's teams within the kids programs at Bites Bahamas or Blockchain Business School have really brought home how intuitive a lot of applications can be. This doesn't have to be an esoteric conversation. We had one girl on Harbor Island who developed an online fishing registration app for her father, who was a fisherman.
Wow.
And that's a conversation that central government had had for years, because when people come to visit, say, on a weekend, they're technically supposed to go get a fishing license, but local government offices aren't open on Saturdays and Sundays. She realized that, and she fixed the breach. And she
Wow.
wasn't that, she wasn't more than 10 years old at the time.
Oh boy. See, this was going to be my question. Is it possible that the students have already surpassed where the teachers are at this point? Is that where we are?
That is quite the possibility. But the reality is, what we've seen is that they actually want this information. They want this knowledge, and the teachers aren't equipped to deliver this knowledge. And so therefore, what ends up happening is a lot of students end up losing interest because school is where they spend a lot of their time, most of their day, right? And so, but, we spend a lot of time whilst we're at school. But if we take a look at, for example, India, what they did several years back now, and it happened almost automatically. Well, it happened almost automatically where technology was progressing so quickly. So many different call centers and these sorts of things were in India that the students, the kids, the families, the dads, the moms, they were already learning coding. And then India made it mandatory from grade 6 onwards that coding had to be learned every single year until graduation. And now,
oh my goodness.
And so if you look at all of these Fortune 500 companies such as Microsoft and Google, you see now the results of that because their CEOs are all of Indian descent and Indian heritage.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So, Ryan or Kimberly, either one of you, have you seen like a great interest from the teachers? You're offering this summer program. Has there been like a really good interest or high interest from teachers now wanting to get this kind of knowledge, this information, so that then they can pass this on to their students?
Very much so, starting last summer, because, we were trying to figure out our own strengths and outreach, and mine's largely been around the Odd Islands. So I went to, different members of the Ministry of Education that I knew throughout, Acklands and Cat Island and Long Island and Exuma. And the teacher response has been huge. If anything, the only hindrance has been that a lot of the teachers aren't issued laptops. So that's been part of our outreach as well. Corporate sponsorship of Chromebooks or laptops or donations or rentals. Often they don't have the tools they need to succeed. And then once you do get the hardware into the schools, we have to figure out how to keep them secure. Yeah, there's been no shortage of enthusiasm on the part of teachers.
All right, I want to take this call really quickly. I hope this is related to what we're talking about, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Real quickly, good morning. Yes, I know the AI programming that Google then came up with is written in Python. Are you going to do an introductory to Python and perhaps have some of us afraid now that what we created is going to actually destroy us?
Wow.
Well,
thanks a lot.
Thank you for the question. It's a fantastic question. We don't have within this program the time to do an introduction to Python. But if I were to back up and complement what Kimberly shared, last year we had space, or we had reached out. We were thinking that maybe we get 30 interested teachers, right?
Right.
We had over 160, something like that, teachers actually try to sign up. We only could take 60. In fact, that was expanded because initially we thought we could only handle 40, but we took 60. It was an amazing 2 weeks, and then. But even across that 60, we had teachers from maths, social studies, religious knowledge, physical education, reading, and computer studies, of course. But it shows you the interest in even outside of the actual discipline of, say, specialization of computer studies. And to expand on what the caller asked, and for his benefit, we had teachers, right, that teach computer studies, right, that were trained in a little bit of coding in university that, said to us, I really want to get into coding again because I really enjoyed the class. But when we were in university, I learned Python, and I think I can start my club and have some students learn Python. And so we had a teacher, and I cannot, it's in Nassau, but she started a coding club at lunchtime for her kids to learn Python.
Amazing.
And that is amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a reading teacher at Stapleton a reading teacher started a coding club at lunchtime in her reading classroom, and the class was full, engaging. 35 kids we visited, wanting to learn how to code, and so that's amazing. And then furthermore, on the AI point, just to touch on that briefly, we are actually we're excited about this year's program because we are touching on AI this program, but I guess we can get more into that if you ask.
All right, we're going to take a break from news. We're going to pick this up in Morning Blend Business. We've got more AI questions on our text line, if you can believe that. And so many more questions, and now I'm feeling I need to get into coding as well. Laverne, what do you think?
You'd love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
How am I?
Yes.
I'm sitting here going, how much knowledge am I going to need? Because I think I may need to get into this as well.
We'll find out after the break.
No?
Yeah.
You'll love the program that Ryan's developed.
Okay. We're talking with Ryan Austin and Kimberly King Burns about coding, and we'll find out more about the Teachers Who Code Summer Workshop after the break. Stay with us, folks. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
1973, we were free. Jungle New on Bay 3, Bahamas. They go to church on Sunday, Bahamas. Come silent on the weekend, Bahamas. Catching private address, Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, July 13th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and we continue our conversation with Coding Bahamas Future, CBF. They are hosting a Teachers Who Code summer workshop. We're going to get details about that in just a bit. We were talking with Ryan Austin and Kimberly King Burns, having a great discussion so far. All right, so as I told you, there's another text about code about AI. And this one asks, with the rise of AI programs that can write codes, is it really necessary for people to still learn coding?
I love that question because I use AI in my software development and my own. I use it every day professionally.
Mm-hmm. You still there?
Beside of you.
Okay, you're breaking.
But no, it is like having a good sidekick because it understands what you're trying to accomplish. Because before AI and before the programs like ChatGPT that we have right now, there was Google, there was Stack Overflow, there were other resources for software developers to try to craft a question and get a response. Now it's just instant, so it 10x's your productivity. And so AI is a tool that will make you more productive. But if you're just learning how to code, right, it's practically useless because you have tons of documentation. In fact, all of the resources that AI uses to give you a response was scraped and off of the internet and analyzed, right, so that they can help you to write your programs. But if you were to just say, write a prompt to give an AI generator or ChatGPT, like write me a program to start a radio podcast or a radio podcasting software, right? It can get you a base, right, of something to go with, but it's not going to be what you want. It's not, you're not going to be able to fix any issues. And 90% of your time is actually spent reading code and debugging code and not just writing it. And so AI today is a fantastic companion. It's not a replacement for a developer, and it won't be a replacement for a developer for a very long time. In fact, it's going to require more developers and more engineers and more specialties than actually take those jobs.
Okay, wow. Okay, so realistically, give us some scenarios in which a teacher, it'll be useful for a teacher who knows coding, how that can benefit a teacher in the school environment.
Oh, that's a great. And so let's just, if we were to start with education, right? I already know, just because of how much I already use these tools today, teachers can help themselves by writing lesson plans, right? Helping them with, being more organized and having better structure around how their lesson plans are structured for all of these classes. We all know that teachers have so much to teach in such a short window of time, right? That not all of them, depending on how their summer goes, depending on the fact that we actually are human beings and we have a life outside of our professional disciplines, some of them might just not get around to creating a lesson plan for all 5 or all 6 of their classes. In lesson plans, it's a great start. It'll give them a good base, and they can modify it to be specific within the Bahamian curriculum context and that sort of thing. So that's education. For a teacher that already knows how to write programs, it's going to help them to debug their students' programs, which means that instead of spending a lot of time with one student, you only have touch points with students because of the limited amount of time that you have in class for any particular subject. So you can only have touch points. And instead of spending so much time with one student, what's going to happen is a lot of these teachers, right, they're already using these tools to say, okay, well, you know what, analyze this and help me with this. I don't think it's a cheat. I think it's a productivity boost. If they use it correctly and also understand the information themselves, then they can accurately assess the output and whether or not, okay, this is exactly what I needed, or this is accurate information, because then you have to also be careful, because sometimes these tools also hallucinate. So that's one danger there, and something to be mindful of. But it's just going to boost their productivity.
It's just a core foundational tool. And once a student has it, once a teacher has it, it complements everything that's already in their toolkit. We've had automation tools for years. They complement. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's something to understand, because as Ryan so succinctly pointed out, a lot of the time what they grab sounds good, but it's not necessarily nuanced. And that's going to help you as well. It's the difference between, say, a book and a computer. You need both. And having the foundation of both helps you not only with curricular activities at school, but I think it's also going to inspire a lot of extracurricular activity that supports a lot of the enthusiasm.
Wow, that is fantastic. All right, and you said earlier that it's not just computer teachers who are interested in this. You're seeing that across the board.
Absolutely not. No computer science education is needed, requested, and that's where we've been seeing the enthusiasm, especially after last year's program, which was really well received, because people, I think we geeks tend to speak in a certain, lingo that is sometimes exclusive. And, rather than make it a big frat party, we wanted to make this program as approachable as possible to as many people as possible. And it's really caught on.
Exactly.
Wow. Now, you mentioned laptops. What type of equipment will be required here? Can you do this on a tablet, or are you going to need a real computing device?
You're going to need a laptop.
Chromebooks. Laptop, Chromebook. I don't think you want a tablet. We had problems with those with the programs that Ministry of Education was running during the pandemic shutdown. So a step above.
Yeah.
We're currently looking for between 12 and 15 laptops to complement a number of the teachers who either don't have laptops that have been assigned to them yet, or the ones that they do have are underpowered, like, Chromium 1 or something.
Okay. All right. So let's get some details about the workshop. Last year, you said it. You had a great response to this, and you had to turn a lot of people away. How many can you accommodate this year?
So this year we're doing a unique program this year because we have an in-person program that's going to run for 2 weeks, and in person we are going to target those CS fundamentals teachers, those teachers that are in lower primary, pre-readers. We have a program specifically for them, and we intend on holding their hand and walking them through the entire program. But a lot of our teachers, current signups today, have also requested to be virtual. Virtually, we are going to target our more advanced program, which is CS Principles and CS Discoveries. So we're getting a little more in depth. We will be touching on those CS fundamentals that everyone needs to understand how to code. So, for example, if I were to break that down, there are a few tools when learning how to code, right? You have like conditionals, you have loops, you have algorithms, all of these things, you put them together to make algorithms to make one computer program. And so we need to just touch on those concepts, but we're going to be pushing it forward a little more, and particularly with our virtual attendance, and we will be helping them to create entire apps. Now, this is going to be all within the construct of the program that we're teaching them with, which, by the way, is code.org. We love it. It's fantastic. It's freely available, and anyone can go and use it, and that's why we use it. And they will be using block code just so that we can get past the whole learning, what's the word I'm looking for here? Just so that we can move more quickly with the learning. They can move those blocks and understand what they need to do a little quicker. And once we accomplish that, then at the end of the program, as we always do, this is a project-based learning program where teachers will, at the end of the program, create a project and then present that project at the end. And every project is accepted, every project is worthy, and we display all projects, and teachers have such an amazing time showing off their project, showing they did it. Last year, for example, we had teachers that created menus for the fish fry. That was a fun one. We had teachers that created registration books for their classrooms. Kimberly?
Indeed.
Yeah.
And you said earlier creating apps as well, whole apps. So is this for beginners? If you have no coding experience, can you come and thrive in a workshop like this, or do you need to have a little bit of a background?
Absolutely no coding experience. And it's a great question, Dwight, because it does seem like, whoa, I can't just go in and after a week come on creating an entire app.
It seems impossible.
So, but what it is we use this code.org, and they have this fantastic program called App Lab, and many people out there are going to be familiar with App Lab. And what App Lab does is it gives you a simple like phone interface, which is just a graphic on the computer, and it gives you the preview of what you're doing. And so imagine learning to create an app in App Lab will be like learning to create a graphic in, say, Canva, or maybe a flyer in Microsoft Word, right? Because you'll be moving blocks and graphics around and saying, well, okay, I need to do this. When I click this, I want this thing to happen. And it gives you all of the interactive steps and makes it so easily available. Plus, you have an excellent array of Coding Bahamas Future instructors to assist you, right? But it makes everything so easy. So you can say, I want this, when I click this button, to do this thing. And so that's the skills that we're going to be showing teachers, because that's the skills that are going to interest their students. The students, we had a fantastic teacher last year. Shout out to Michelle Wilson of Woodcock Primary. And last year, she got this program in so many kids' hands, and they just thrived with it. They went way above and beyond and much further, right? We visited her school, and those students were just rocking and rolling with those tablets. And so those students, they have the skill and they are curious enough to go ahead and play and break things, right? So the teachers want to be able to keep up with that. Michelle Wilson, in this case, was one of those teachers that already understood this, and she was able to keep up and help them to thrive and go beyond even the CS fundamentals level and go into different levels and go into different areas. And so we plan on teaching teachers how to keep up. They're going to develop the skills and confidence to teach students how to code. And that's it. They won't necessarily come out of this and be slinging apps and left, right, and center. But what they will know is they will understand the structure of the app. They will understand what's a loop, what's a conditional. These won't be weird or strange terms. And that's the idea about how we teach teachers how to code. In addition to this, just one last thing before I forget, is that we also, this year, we're planning a follow-up early in the year around February, right? And we're working with our Ministry of Education partners. This program, is, by the way, is fully endorsed by the Ministry of Education. I'm not sure if Kimberly mentioned that earlier, but we plan on having a follow-up for those teachers that are about to start teaching this and just want a little, refresher. And so, so they definitely will be able to deliver this program to their students just by coming to this week-long course, and all of the resources will just immediately available to them, and they can continue on learning on if they're so interested or inclined to do so, even beyond the week-long course.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because we continue to get positive feedback from our at-island teachers. There's a group at Spanish Wells Guy Pinder School that's the teacher was not, had a minimum of computer skills. She was actually the typing teacher. And she jumped into this feet first, and she got the arts and crafts program involved. And what they've been able to do since her introduction last year has been phenomenal. And it started to attract attention up and down Eleuthera, because I think once you dive in and you realize it's not like learning Greek, it's working with building blocks to affect a very creative opportunity, whether it's for a classroom action or a community activity. The sky's the limit as to what you can do with this knowledge, and to provide, these opportunities for economic empowerment and economic development in the outer islands, so that everybody doesn't have to emigrate to Nassau or Miami for a job. And so they're finding resources within their own communities that can help them deploy these skills pragmatically.
Yeah. Wow. Wonderful. Okay. So how many teachers can you accommodate this year?
Teachers, we can, thanks, Dwight. I didn't answer your question.
Right.
Yeah. We can accommodate anywhere from 60 to 80 teachers this year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how do they sign up? What do you need to do?
So we have a form going around, but ding, 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 ding. Fantastic
Info at codingbahamasfuture.org will answer all of your questions, because we are not live bots answering those emails.
Okay. That's correct. So visit our website. We just newly launched www.codingbahamasfuture.org. You'll find a lot of information there. You can go there and sign up. You can just email, for example, or email info at codingbahamasfuture.org, and we'll automatically send you a link to the enrollment form, so you can easily sign up and be a part of this exciting learning opportunity. Mm-hmm. And also, I should mention that it is professional development. Like I said, it's fully endorsed by the ministry, so certificates will be granted, and teachers have successfully used it in the past toward their professional development PDUs units required, as a part of their profession.
Yep. And it doesn't matter, high school, primary school, college, anybody is welcome?
Doesn't matter. We have teachers in primary, high school, tertiary education, all already signed up. And signups are going fantastic, by the way. By the time it's like space, but
it's been catching on a lot this week.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. So you said it's going to be virtual, but also in person. Where is it going to be in person?
At the New Providence Community Center, Blake Road.
And what type of commitment will people have to give for the week? What times are we looking at?
Great question, Dwight. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For the entire week. Lunch will be provided. On that note, we for businesses that want to know, well, how can I get involved? You might be a a business out there or a food service business out there and trying to figure, well, how can I get involved? I'm in food. We are still looking for lunch sponsors. And so thank you, Dwight.
And to be fair, we couldn't have come this far without the support of our generous sponsors. And, we're hopeful to continue to engage the international and domestic business community around the country to help us, because we are helping inform and upgrade, as it were, their potential workforce. Mm-hmm. And we've just it's a really good group of public and private sector professionals that have come together to have this conversation.
Yeah,
and we couldn't have done it with Catherine Lejeunesse just jumpstarting the discussion.
Okay, so when is exactly? A lot of teachers take summer break, they travel. So when is it going to be exactly?
So week 1 is the 24th to the 28th of July. And week 2 is the 31st to the 4th of August, 31st of July to the 4th of August. And we do it that way just because of what you said, people do travel. And so we set up 2 weeks. So hopefully we can find a slot within that time, or teachers can find a slot within that time to attend this lesson or attend this training.
Some
teachers do 2 weeks because, my gosh, I enjoyed week 1 so much. I want to do week 2. And last year we had 3 weeks, and so it gave even more opportunity. But this year we're going to do 2 weeks, just because we want to keep it a little tighter. We know that the 50th anniversary celebrations are going on, and teachers were extremely busy for that. We knew from the ministry and our ministry partners that teachers wanted to participate with all of that. So we tried to keep it a little shorter this year as a result.
Mm-hmm. So is that 60 to 80 that you can accommodate each week, or is that over the course of the 2 weeks?
Over the course of the 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. What we're starting to do now is we're starting to divide based on when persons request which weeks people request. We're starting to divide those weeks up, trying to figure out, okay, are they virtual? Are they in person? And then we will start sending out those emails, letting them know, hey, you are confirmed for week 1 virtual. Here's your sign-in details, or week 1 in person, and those sorts of details. And so we are currently organizing who will attend when, based on their signups and based on what we can accommodate.
Wow. And we didn't mention cost at all, but tell us about that.
Well, all of this that's happening is the best cost in the world. It's absolutely free.
Wow.
Absolutely free. And that's all thanks to our fantastic primary sponsor, Phantom Foundation, who I should mention because they've just been amazing. Dwight, let me just add that they've given us a matching grant. And what that really means is that for any business in the Bahamas that wants to see doing, and we want to support you, and here's a small donation to your mission, Phantom Foundation will match that. And so that's been phenomenal to us. It shows that there is global commitment to our cause. It shows that there's local commitment to our cause and what we're trying to do. Ultimately, we talk about this all the time. We really, we're not sure exactly what that time frame looks like, but we really want Coding Bahamas Future to be a short-ran nonprofit, meaning that it's alive for a number of years when it's essential to get coding literacy to be a thing within our educational system. And once that happens, and once everyone's on board and that's locked in, maybe we become a foundation just supporting students that now want to go off and become master software developers and software engineers and that sort of thing.
Wow,
but
that's
we want
amazing.
this initial part to just be a very strict and short-lived project or mission.
Excellent. Give us that website one more time and how people can contact you.
So that's www.codingbahamasfuture.org. And we can be contacted by the website. You're going to find our email address, info@codingbahamasfuture.org.
This sounds fantastic. Let me know when you're going to do a media folk who code
that's a great
workshop,
idea.
and I'll be there. I need to be a part of that.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Love that idea.
I'll say this just to give another shout out, Dwight, to other industry partners. You have happening also this year for kids. You have Beta Camp, and that you'll be familiar with, and then also you have Blockchain Business School. And Blockchain Business School is very dynamic because it also invites professionals to learn a little more about what's happening in the world of blockchain technology, coding, and all of it.
Excellent.
So that's a fantastic opportunity there that's immediately available.
Well, this is great stuff that you're doing. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. We hope people will take advantage of this. Wonderful. Kimberly King Burns and Ryan Austin with Coding Bahamas Future. Thank you. And for telling us about the Teachers Who Code Summer Workshop coming up in just a few days, really. Thank you again.
We appreciate the enthusiasm. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwight. Thank you, Laverne. Have an amazing day.
You too.
You too.
All right, we're going to take a break. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Yo, hey yo, we come a long way and we just begun. Come on, lift up the heads to the rising sun and just sing it out loud. I am a Bahamian. Come on, sing it out loud. I am a Bahamian. From the Bahamas to an our grand islands in between. If you know you in love with the silent cheer, come on, sing it out loud. I am a Bahamian. Come on, sing it out loud. I am a Bahamian.
Girl, why you so sweaty?
Child, I'm getting ready for the Bahamas Games.
Bahamas Games? What that is?
The Games started in 1989 under the then Minister of Sports, Peter J. Bethel, and now Minister Mario Boleg.
When the Games is?
This July 7th to the 15th.
For more info,
go to www.thebahamasgames.org
or call 322-1029.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking functionality, the choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Indulge in an experience that awakens your senses with Nescafe Gold. Premium Arabica coffee beans, carefully selected, roasted to perfection, and finely ground, resulting in a unique and unmatched flavor and aroma that captivates the senses. Enticing aroma, smooth taste. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity. It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it. My sales increased, and I can track my earnings. Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today. Call 356-7764.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money, guaranteed with DIC.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name, put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Clarence, ain't that boy supposed to be spending summer with the mother them in Florida? Or he going to cousin Hezekiah to help out with them boats on the island? Cause we too old to fly.
Grammy, send me. I could go by myself on Bahamas Air. Once it's before 5 o'clock in the evening.
Educate Grammy.
They say 5 to 14 is unaccompanied minor, Grammy. I 12. Bahamas Air got plenty pretty stewardess I can cut up with.
Cut up? Boy, you better cut up with them books.
Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
It's time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, asserting that Bahamians have lost their appreciation for nation building. Minister of State for Legal Affairs Jomo Campbell voicing support for Prime Minister Philip Davis, who recently revealed that he instructed the Departments of Labor and Immigration to deny work permit renewal applications for foreigners holding positions where qualified Bahamians can fill the positions. Campbell saying that abilities and that it would be a great tragedy if 50 years from now there are more questions than answers about what it means to be Bahamian. You can read about his comments in today's Guardian Business section. The Water Resources Corporation signing 2 contracts totaling just over $9 million to extend piped potable water to hundreds of residents of Little Exuma, Alexander, and Barataria Exuma for the first time, and to provide major water supply improvements in Georgetown. During a press conference at the corporation's head office on University Drive, Minister of Works and Utilities Alfred Sears said Bakerwick Construction Company Limited, in a joint venture with Tycoon Management, were contracted to supply, install, test, and commission 8.5 miles of new water mains to serve the communities. That's good to service connections for 425 homes and businesses at a contract price of just over $4 million. And Delta Airlines adding a new flight to the Bahamas for the winter season from New York to Nassau. The twice-daily flight will operate weekly from December 16th and will run until April 7th of next year. It's going to be on a Boeing 737-800 departing New York's LaGuardia Airport at 10:45. The new Delta route will go head-to-head with JetBlue's recently announced flight in the Bahamas market for the winter season. That airline recently announced a route from LA, Los Angeles International Airport, to Nassau that will operate on Saturdays beginning November 4th. Overseas, the union representing film and television actors says no deal has been reached with studios and streaming services, and its leadership will vote on whether to strike later today. The Screen Actors Guild, SAG, and the American Federation of Television and Radio Arts, collectively known as SAG-AFTRA, said early today that its decision on whether to join already striking screenwriters will be considered by leadership at a meeting later today. If the actors go on strike, it will be the first time since 1960 that actors and writers picket film. The Actors Guild recently released a statement this morning announcing that its deadline for negotiations to conclude had ended without a contract. The statement came hours after this year's Emmy nominations, recognizing the best work on television. The group representing the studios, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, says it was disappointed by the failure to reach a deal. It added that instead of continuing to negotiate, SAG-AFTRA had put them on a course that will deepen the financial hardship for thousands who depend on the industry for their livelihoods. Now, if the actors strike, they will formally join screenwriters on the picket lines outside studios and filming locations in a bid to get better terms from studios and streaming giants like Netflix and Amazon. The Actors Guild has previously authorized a strike by a nearly 98% margin. Members of the Writers Guild of America have been on strike since early May, slowing the production of film and television series on both coasts in production centers like LA and Atlanta. Issues in negotiations include the unregulated use of artificial intelligence, AI, and the effects of a residual pay brought on by the streaming ecosystem that has emerged in recent years. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday. Your market movers: Bahamas First Holdings moving 2,724 shares, closing up 3 cents to $2.49. Finco moving 1,000, down 15 cents to $12.15. Consolidated Water down 1 cent to $4.26, and Emira Incorporated down $9.71. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,555.65, down 1.34. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
around now, so boy. In Nassau Town 2011, that's when all the digging began. They say they have to lay the pipe, but man, it's stressing out my life. All kind of dust in my nose, all over my car and my clothes. They say it's all for my good, but not right now in my neighborhood. The road them dig up, all the road them dig up. Everywhere they digging, morning, noon and evening. The road them dig up, all the road them dig up. Got to go north, to go south.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9 Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and I'm imploring Gino D to do a remix of his song for potholes. The roads are dig up, but not by. Well, I don't think it's man-made. Well, who knows? Maybe I think decisions that man-made, you're right, caused the potholes to be so easily formed. So perhaps, but yeah. The Works Minister, Alfred Sayers, he's got a lot he's dealing with. He's got BPL, and he's got the roads. He says, look for marked improvements in Nassau roads soon. In the Tribune, they're reporting that Sayers said that marked improvement in New Providence roads should be soon observed as his ministry plans to increase pothole patching. Oh, boy. His comments coming as a pothole on Shirley Street. Remember this? You were with me that day, right? Laverne?
Yeah?
Yeah, you were with me that
Which
day
day?
when somebody called and said how that pothole was causing the traffic to be backed up. I think that was Tuesday.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So
yes.
this infamous pothole, this is like, this should be on the wanted list. This pothole, they need to name that one. Pothole on Shirley Street sparked numerous complaints. Some residents said the pothole was part of a sewer problem that caused delayed traffic. It was backed up for days. A business owner in the area said yesterday that workers poured hot tar over the pothole. I'm pretty sure that's not what it was. But anyway, a temporary solution. Sarah said 10 contractors are expected to be engaged to address the vexing problem. He said the contractors would supplement the ministry's road patching unit with a, quote, massive blitz to fix potholes in the days and weeks ahead. Yeah, we've been invaded. We've been invaded by potholes. They've
By
taken over.
potholes.
So this is Sears in the House yesterday saying, quote, this is the first time in over 4 years that the ministry has been able to engage staff and obtain equipment to address the issue of potholes. Oh my.
Okay.
Now, see, he's saying this is it sounds like a point of pride, but we can tell it's been 4 years since y'all did anything. Good God. What?
That's also to point out that
maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's why it was important for him to say 4 years.
Sure. I mean, but they've been in for 2 years.
it's
You've been in
at
for
the
2
end of
years,
the-
though. You've been in for 2 years.
At the end of the day, everything that's done comes down to that.
Oh, okay.
Right? But anyway, so hopefully,
Oh, my God.
y'all will get some relief, right?
First time.
And less damage to your car.
Yeah. First time in over 4 years, the ministry has been able to engage staff and obtain equipment to address the issue of potholes. I believe that the public will soon see a marked improvement in terms of safer and drivable roads.
There you go.
Plans to begin the exercises follow months of rain activity, which Sayers said has hindered road repair efforts. He said that his ministry will soon begin road repaving works on several roads, including South Beach Community Roads, portions of Windsor Field, Bay Street between East Street and the Old Bridge, and Eastern Road. Eastern Road. I told you about that a couple weeks ago. Winton Highway, Woodlawn Way, East Street from Palm. East Street is a disaster. Like, it truly is the worst. The worst. I can't imagine. There are unpaved roads that are far superior. Unpaved roads in the woods that are far superior to East Street. Like, I don't understand it. Anyway, from Palm Tree Avenue to Robinson Road, East Street South as well. East Street South is also bad. Like, if it rains, I refuse. I'm not doing it. If I have to go and pick up If I'm told there's $1 million for me waiting, I'm not going to do it because East Street South after the rain. Wow. Anyway,
Not bad.
it's
half of the million.
Tawny, darling, yeah, what's happening there? The highway is bad. Like Joe Farrington Road and others. Well, I mean, that's just every street in New Providence, right? He just named every street. So there's a lot of work to be done. I'm not sure about the patching thing, the pothole patching. Sometimes I wonder.
Well, that, is that just, sometimes they fill it and then after a while with the rain and just the normal traffic, the potholes, they come back. So
right. The thing that they fill it with doesn't seem to be the same material as the original road. And so after a while, the hole reopens. It's like, I don't know what's going on. But
hopefully with these people, they're going to use whatever material, whatever needs to be used. And this won't be one of those situations where the hole reopens.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay. Well, this has been happening for years. This would be a new development, Laverne, because for years this is what has happened. They patch a pothole, and then the pothole returns with a vengeance. So you think they finally got it? Like, okay, we cannot use this type of Kleenex to fix potholes anymore. We have to use something stronger.
Right.
I shouldn't have said Kleenex. That's a brand name. That's a brand name.
Right.
Tissue paper. Yeah.
Put the correct fill in and then smooth it over so that it's even with the rest of the roads. And
that's another
the
thing.
Paving.
It's never even with the rest of the road. It's either a valley or the Himalayas. I don't understand it.
Put your poison.
Yeah, which one you want? I have to read this. This is not a nice message, but this is amazing. Let me edit this. Sears takes us for a blankety blank. Feels like once he speaks slowly and softly, we will believe everything he says.
It's just the way that he speaks. That's just the way that he speaks all.
Oh boy.
That was funny.
Wow. Speak, Laverne, so I can recover. I need a moment to catch myself. Say something. We can't have dead air.
Well, both of us, like, no, I'm sorry. But that was funny. But I think that's just the way that he speaks.
I'm crying.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. This is from an engineer friend. The way we construct most of our roads are not engineered, just a cheap layer of black top on film, no reinforcement, no edge support. It is clear. I know you're a great engineer, but you don't need to be an engineer to tell us that. We could tell because
you already
it's
know
obvious that's not what they're doing. So it is terrifying because these are going to be back. These things are going to be back, and now the roads look like especially Eastern Road, and they're trying it on Tawny Gwinn's Darling Highway. So they're filling in the potholes that are there. So they look like it looks like you're on a quilt in a black and white movie. So the rest of the road is gray. So some quilt your grandmother made in 1929. That's how it feels like when you're driving down the streets now. It's like, what is this? What are we doing? Why are we doing this? And then what's up with the parking? I don't know if you have that problem over there, Grandma. The parking lots are clearly made out of cottage cheese here. And so there are tons of parking lots with holes like, man. I don't know. And they're going to try to patch those as well, which makes no sense. Folks, let's hear what you have to say about this. And in that long list of roads, were there any that weren't mentioned that you feel they need to be paying attention to as well? Because sometimes it feels like they don't drive around. They might teleport themselves into their ministries. So they might not be aware. So get it out there right now. Give us a call. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Yeah, you might be on a family island. Do they know what's happening down there? Tell us what needs to be fixed. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Yeah, okay.
We're actually engaged in some road paving here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the port,
So
or is it
some
the
of
government?
the places. Port.
Oh, okay.
It's in the Freeport-Lukai area.
I see.
Yeah.
Do they patch too, or do they pave the whole thing?
They pave.
Oh, my fancy. Aren't you guys lucky? Good morning.
They pay for the most part. They
That's
pay for
beautiful.
the most part. If there's parking, it's usually a private development.
I see.
Who's patched through his area.
Ah.
Because we have that too. They're responsible for that.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well.
On to your guest. We're getting ready to put, Blue Road needs to get paved from the hill, basically, or from Soju Road straight down to the beach, because me and my partners, we're getting to put a major business down there, and it wouldn't be decent for us to put that down there, and that road is not paved. And that needs to get paved. It's been like that for years. I see they're paving East Street, so we see how long they're going to take to pave that.
Is that what that is on East Street? Because it looks like it's been scraped or something.
Yeah, they're getting it all the way down.
They are trying. I thought that was just the potholes have definitely gone in a revolt.
No.
So they are trying to pave it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally. It's about time.
Okay.
All right. Well, good luck to you. I hope they get it sorted out before you open your business. But we need to have a better system. I don't understand how you don't have the equipment for that. Right? 4 years. You know how many tires were destroyed, axles broken, shocks blown, springs shredded in those 4 years? Man. Wow. Yeah, continue to call us 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, text us 422-4796. This person says that they do not close the road long enough. You mean like after they've paved or patched? You think that's I wonder. I don't know. This one says here, the Speedway dilemma at the rear of the downtown straw market. The Speedway dilemma? What does that mean? At the rear of the downtown straw market. I really don't understand. Send us some more information. Make it make sense. This person says that there are 2 ginormous potholes on Kemp Road for months. Whoa. Which part? Be specific. And they're saying they're getting deeper. Where exactly on Kemp Road? Which part are you talking about? Yeah.
I'm thinking if they're ginormous, you can't miss them.
Well, apparently they've been missed by the people who need to do something about it. They don't know about it. But yeah, well, that one on Eastern Road I was telling you about that was there for a month, that finally was addressed. The Grand Canyon one. Yeah, but I did see there was another one. East Street, if they're going to pave that finally. Oh, man. But I saw something the other day. I just can't remember where it was. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm very concerned about Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. It's degrading in a way faster than it should be. It wasn't too long ago when that was repaved, and I don't understand. And these little weird potholes, and they're in the same spot every few feet. So I don't know what that means. I'm not an engineer, but that is bizarre. And I know there's a lot of heavy trucks out there, but All right, so they're saying the drivers are speeding. Behind the straw market, there's no space. You mean on the wharf? How are they speeding? You can't even walk fast there. Huh. Well, maybe it's a heavy pedestrian area. Maybe they need they finally put down some speed bumps, maybe. This person says that there's a section on Carmichael Road heading west just before you reach Bacardi Road that requires you to use an armored tank to cross. That whole stretch of Carmichael, once you get past, it starts to get worse once you get past Gladstone Road, doesn't it? And then it just gets progressively worse. I was going to say worser. There's no better word to use than worser. It gets worser once you pass where the detention center is. Like that, it just gets worse. And then there's water when it floods, and it just is crazy. I don't understand.
That usually does happen with a flood. There is water, Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when the water's gone, the road is just a mess. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this won't take long. I know they're blaming the rain. Okay, sure. So we've got some Saharan dust keeping the rain down a little bit. Hopefully before September. We know September is another wet month. Hopefully we can get some work done between now and then before school opens. Because right when school opens, you're going to be using that as an excuse. And then you don't have much time after that before Christmas, and then you definitely can't get anything done. So let's see. We are going to be expecting this marked improvement, right? Very much soon. So we'll see. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. This
Fingers
is already
crossed.
spoken softly and slowly.
And hopefully we don't have to have a class with them to teach them what to fill bottles with, so that they will not break up again. But anyway, Laverne, it's been fun. Thank you so much for being
Always
with us
a
this
pleasure.
morning.
Thank you.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
You know I had to come with this one, y'all.